Welcome to the BBC Podcast. Tapping in with Tunchi again. Tonight, another late night show with a special guest. Got some ladies in the house also.
Get on your job, nigga. Motivation. Haters better get on your job. Tell them. Haters get on your job, nigga. Motivation. Suck a nigga, get on your job. If you...
Turn it over to JP.
Yeah, everybody just make sure you like, comment, subscribe, share the channel, check out the merch, and let's introduce our special guest first. Hand it over to you.
All right, I'm Stirling Cooper. I'm a, somewhat retired award-winning porn star turned... there we go. That's a good enough introduction.
All right.
I'm Tony.
Well, that tells us everything.
I know.
Mysterious Tony.
Yeah, mysterious Tony.
So has the relationship status changed? Anything else changed?
No, not really.
So if you guys want to know her information, just check out the last video.
Oh, God.
And what about yourself?
And who'd you bring with you today?
So your name, dating status, age.
Oh, situation?
All right, situationship. There we go.
Okay.
And her second time here, first time on camera.
I'm Brittany. I'm 36. I'm very single.
All right.
So it's like single as fuck? Or?
Yeah, actually.
Oh, okay.
All right. Let's keep it rolling. All right. So today, let's roll with the guests. How long have you been out of the industry?
Probably like a couple of years. It was sort of when I just started to teach guys how to be better in the bedroom.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of what I do now.
Yeah.
That came about because of COVID. Like the industry shut down, right? We couldn't everyone's like, especially in California, everyone's just like.
That was my next question. I was going to ask you what made you.
That was
get
it.
Out of it.
Like it just shut down. I'm like, well, I can't. How am I paying rent now?
Yeah,
right?
I gotta do something.
I can't go sling dick anymore. I gotta find something more respectable to do.
Yeah. You could always mask up and
It didn't come to that, but that was kind of like what started me down this path, and then I just started
getting more involved into it.
Yeah, get way more involved in it. Started a YouTube channel and all that, and it kind of just
blew up from there.
Yeah, it really got out of control real quick.
I mean, out of control is good though.
Yeah, it was great, and it's a lot more fulfilling.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, don't get me wrong, porn is a fun job.
Oh yeah, for sure.
But it's
has its perks.
Yeah, it has its perks. But honestly, I do enjoy doing this stuff more because I get to help guys every single day. You know?
Yeah.
You wake sometimes
more fulfilling in the actual.
More fulfilling instead of
fulfilling.
Yeah.
So you actually have like
a joke there somewhere.
So you actually have like a program, right? That like people can chime into.
Yeah, I have a bunch of books and I have a bunch of video courses that basically try to touch on every little problem that a guy could have in the bedroom. You know? Whether it's performance anxiety, whether it's erectile dysfunction, whether it's like he can't get his girl off, like whatever it is. I can basically point a guy in the right direction and fix him.
Okay. Well, ladies, since we have him here,
I'm
pretty sure everybody's ran into like a little bump in the road. What was the last
or not so little
listen, that way he explains it to you. Maybe
lot of shortcomings.
Maybe it could have been the guy, or maybe it could have been you. Like he's an expert. He will let you know what was the last bad sexual experience that you had. Like
we'll throw it in the air. Anybody can
start.
We'll
throw it on you guys. Right
yeah, we'll start from the couch.
Yeah, we'll start from Brittany because she hasn't. This is her first time actually being on camera. So let's roll with this.
I guess a bad experience that I had is not so much horrible, but more like no intimacy, straight to it, quick.
Yeah.
Which quick is okay if you have a lot of intimacy and foreplay, but so that's probably like my last.
So it was like no foreplay.
No foreplay, not a lot of intimacy. Well, no intimacy, I would say. Nothing.
So the guy just wanted to get in there and get out.
Yeah, so I'm good on that.
See, that's different from like
an actual problem.
Sexual tension, like building up, and then you two ripping each other's clothes off, like
right. And
getting straight into it. That's different. Those are two different sort of things, right? Mm-hmm. Versus a guy who's just like maybe there was kind of nothing building it up in the first place, and then he's just like,
I'm here, so let's do it.
Yeah, very different.
So what about you, Mrs.?
Because to me, like, I don't know about how you guys feel, but we're older now. I am not about to sit here and put up with somebody that's not going to satisfy me. I'm not, it's not, I can't.
So what disqualifies a guy then?
Everything, like, like if you're not touching correctly, if you're not coming at me correctly, if there's no, like, if you just want to, like she said, coming straight, like, even if you do come straight at me with it and just, like,
It comes straight at
yeah,
you.
yeah. Like,
A lot of puns in here.
B, it's a certain way of doing it.
Be more sensual with it.
Yeah, but men are just,
You think
like,
they get
maybe
lazy?
they watch too much porn, like hardcore porn.
I know. So
where they
real,
just, like, it's like, no, honey,
real quick on that.
no.
What is your idea of is there such thing as that, like guys watching too much porn that's affecting your bedroom performance?
Absolutely. It's the first thing I'll tell guys is if they're having any problems at all,
Mm-hmm.
it doesn't even matter what the problem is. Could be that they can't come at all. Could be they come too quickly. Can't get a boner. If they're having any issue at all, the first thing I'll tell a guy to do is stop watching porn.
Okay, I think you mentioned in your last show you were on.
Yeah, the very first thing I'll tell them because it screws with dudes so much.
Can you explain to the viewers why?
Yeah,
it actually fucks with it?
Absolutely. Because so it has also to do with the dopamine receptors, right?
Mm-hmm.
So like, as a guy, we're supposed to want to go out and hunt.
Yeah.
You want to go out and like chase down the gazelle, seduce the lady, build an empire.
You're not gonna be able to
right?
chase what you see in the porn.
Well, like when
He
you're
said
just
seduce.
consuming.
He said seduce.
Well, he
Men
said
don't know how to do that.
he said
she like
chase.
that was like her
though.
keyword.
She pinned on that.
Pinned on that one.
But if guys are watching porn all the time, right? Your dopamine receptors are just getting bombarded again and again and again with all this novelty, and it's kind of like setting your dial here to like a permanent 10, right? And then when you eventually get time
They'll
with,
never
with a
measure
woman,
up.
it just is nowhere near as exciting and it's nowhere near as novel as you know whatever you could possibly want to find on the internet can be. And so that's the start. It starts to wear down your ability to have an exciting response, and it wears down and then it also manifests into other aspects of guys' lives. They don't want to go hit. They're not motivated to do anything else. They're not motivated to hit the gym. They're not motivated to make money. They're not motivated to build a career. Nothing.
So you think porn addiction is an actual thing?
I think technically it's not addictive because it's not a substance. I think I'm trying to be technical, whatever. It's habit forming, right? But the brain chemistry response you get is very, very similar to being addicted to any other substance.
But it could get that bad to where people don't want to do shit but watch porn.
Yeah. Well, it's not that they're only watching porn, but they're like, instead of having a productive day, they'll just sit on the
It's
couch
part
and
of their
watch
agenda.
Netflix.
They're making it a part of their agenda every day. Yeah.
Well, they use it to fall asleep every day. Like so, it becomes a really habitual thing.
Wow.
And that screws guys.
Like,
over.
it's just it becomes their routine.
Yeah.
Screws them over.
I
Not
felt
having discipline. It's
right.
men not having discipline.
Well, it's a
Keep
sort of
hearing blame on the
self-fulfilling.
man.
Shit. It's a negative feedback loop. It's a negative spiral, right? Because by jerking off all the time, they're going to be less motivated in general, and then so on and so on and so forth. It gets worse and worse and worse and worse and worse.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah. So if they can break that, start of the spiral, then they can sort of climb out of a hole.
Okay.
And they can start to improve other things.
Okay.
I think I felt like shit one time when I was like clicking on all the videos and I finally got to the end. I'm like, damn, I spent a lot of time scrolling. What's wrong with me? I was like, I got some issues.
Got a connoisseur over here.
Yeah, I'm like,
So what do you think?
is-
What column do you look at? What is your subject line?
Yeah, what's your category of thought?
I have a couple.
Uh-oh.
I know.
See
I
how
like.
bad this gets.
Can I make a secret guess before you answer?
Oh yeah,
Okay.
here we
I'm
go.
gonna write something down.
Okay.
This is gonna be good.
And I'm gonna see if I can predict it.
Okay.
I'm gonna have two guesses.
Actually, since you brought that up, can you do that for all three?
Yeah.
Oh, it's the same. It's
Oh, it's gonna be the same
it's
for
gonna
all.
be the same for all
Okay,
three.
okay.
It's gonna be the
You already
same.
wrote them down.
I wrote it down.
Okay, let's go.
Okay, I like cream pies. I like to watch lesbian stuff. I like when a guy can come a lot. I don't know why. That's just like my thing.
Does it turn you on to just see it, just a man by himself, or does it have to be performed with a girl?
I mean, I think
Or you just like seeing just all the cum?
No, I think it's better when it's with a female
Okay.
or with a partner, just because it's just like the work it takes to like build up all that cum. It's just like, damn, if you can throw in a lot, like, you know.
All right, you're
I support it.
impressed by his nutrition.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, he's a healthy guy.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, I was completely wrong. That was not.
Hold on, don't reveal them yet until we get all three of them.
Okay.
We'll go to the couch. What about you? What are your 3 go-to categories? Well, shit, she had a few of them. So
I got a couple more, but if
he said 3 guesses, so we're kind of limited to 3. I mean, unless you have more, you can spit them out. I'm sure her eyes got big as shit. She's like, what?
I want to say when the girl seems
In control?
Into it?
Yeah.
Like
when she's
dominant?
when she's into it.
Like,
you
overexcited? Like,
but I could tell when a girl is into it and when she's not.
So do you mean like porn that's like not acting, like more like from your cell phone, like some real authentic stuff?
No.
Oh, okay.
That's a bad angle.
she like, okay. No, not that shit.
She needs production value.
She's like, no, there has to be a script.
When a girl is into it, like, I like that.
When she's really
like
coming and not putting on the like.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And you
can tell?
This is a very good point. You as a woman, you can tell, can't you?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
If you watch some even professional actors, you can tell the ones that are actually into each other and the ones that are just pretending.
I'm sorry. I'm the type that I'm like on the 100th page that I've gone through. And once like I get to that, I'm like, or I find somebody that I really like for example, if she like.
Do you have like a body type or anything like that? The girl can do whatever?
No.
Okay.
It's more of a like, if I could tell she's giving him head
Like she's into it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Then I'll be
Okay.
like, okay.
Okay.
I could watch her a couple of times, but then like, you know, or like a guy that is really into it, and they're like both into it. I really like that.
Okay.
It's a good answer.
What about yourself?
Okay, so I don't
Even though those weren't technically categories.
I already knew
but-
she was gonna say that. I knew she was gonna say she don't watch porn. Okay.
Not that often. Some
Okay,
but not
okay,
like that
okay,
often.
okay.
But when I do, so normal stuff, multiple people, and third, and this is gonna be a little weird,
So like group.
group
Okay.
or multiples, and then the third thing is I like I'm a little bit interested in like some of the like the choking and the
Oh yeah, we like that.
Like BDSM type
I like
stuff.
the.
Kind of painful.
Yeah, I do like
I'm
the
interested
bondage
in that.
and
Those would be my-
like fetish type stuff.
Okay.
So what were you?
Okay,
what
so
were your
I
guesses? Half right?
I got redeemed on the last couple ones. So my 2 answers were gangbang or BDSM. That's what I was gonna guess.
yeah.
That's what I would have guessed.
You got me down.
So when you
One
say
out of
group,
three, you were-
is that what you mean though?
Yeah, 3 or more, yeah.
Okay, but so like
That counts.
just a single woman and more men.
No, not necessarily.
So you mean like a whole orgy
so
type
either
of thing?
either one woman and 2 men,
Yeah.
or multiple women and multiple men, or
Oh, okay,
2
okay.
women and 1 man.
Okay, okay.
Yeah,
But
like
I wouldn't say more than 2 men versus 1 woman. That's a little like.
Okay, she just learned like a train.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
But that because those 2 are the most common. Typically, like gangbang and BDSM are the 2 most common categories for women to
For
watch.
women, really?
I guess
Typically.
interesting.
Yeah.
So
The BBC, right?
so that's the most common thing, and a lot of women all the time, and like they
When
think
you ask them a personal
yeah, they
question,
reacted
will
like it's
not
taboo.
say
Like
that.
when you just be like, "Have you ever been with 2 guys?" And they be like, "No,
What? No,
like,
never do that. But
Yeah.
you'll watch
But
this
this
shit.
is like this is from like you can go to every year Pornhub does like a big dump of their statistics.
Yeah. Okay.
By like geography,
Yeah,
by
yeah.
sex, by age, everything. So you can see like who's actually typing in what without them having to kind of reveal that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
They even do a breakdown of each of the states in America. And
shit.
what's the most popular category across the
Okay.
states?
Okay.
Yeah. And funny enough, in the Bible Belt, it's actually like interracial porn is the most popular stuff.
Really?
Yeah.
Do you guys? Does it matter what race? What did you guys watch?
I'd rather do the BBC.
Really? And what about you?
No, doesn't matter race.
No?
It doesn't matter
You know?
race for me.
Okay.
But I do have a question
Oh.
for people in the porn industry. Why is it that they keep putting out porn that are like, fuck my sister, you know that I'm just like,
Like
I
the
can't-
stepsister,
stepmom.
stepdad.
Yeah, I'm
I
like,
knew
I
this
can't.
question was going to come.
Like,
He was waiting for it.
Look, I get cast as the stepdad. I get,
Really?
like this is not my
Okay.
decision.
Uh-huh.
It's literally, and it's not even the director's decision. It's like the script,
company?
the script that the company sends us that morning is like, all right,
This is what
step
you're doing.
uncle's 57. Here you go.
Okay.
So
And you're on.
we genuinely have no idea. Like I've never heard a good concise answer to this question. I wish I had the answer. My only
There's no like a shit ton of people are actually watching this shit.
well,
Because I mean, if they have to be watching it to be making it.
exactly.
Yeah.
Okay, like so it's definitely popular, and I don't know whether it's like it's a chicken egg thing. Like, was it always popular and they're fulfilling a demand, or are they sort of just pushing it out because it's funny and and they can it's easy to write. It's easier to write that kind of stuff, or is it because like more people are having there actually is probably more like divorce and more like stepdads and stepmothers these days than there would have been, 20 odd years ago.
Okay, that makes sense.
20, 30 years ago. So maybe it's just like they're moving with the times and keeping up with it. I don't know.
Okay.
I honestly don't have a good answer for you. Sorry.
It's okay. That's good enough.
All right, the next question would be, Sterling, do you think that, or do you feel that OnlyFans has like taken away from what the industry has been making?
You know what? It's given performers the ability to actually make decent money now.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Before that, so there was this weird little gap in time, right? Before like Pornhub came around, like all those kind of websites, like Pornhub, Xvideos, Xhamster, RedTube, that stuff, where it's free, right? Prior to that, actors made probably 4 times what they're making now per
Because you actually have to subscribe to the channel too.
Bingo. There was a lot more money on that end of the business.
Yeah.
And then there's this period of like 10, 15-ish years before OnlyFans came out. And now, that's where everyone was broke. And now, the performers, can, like the ones who really take the job seriously, who really bust their ass, and are already very popular, those girls can make a ton of money. And the studios have taken a bit of a hit in that regard. But at the same time, like what happens is a lot of girls will use, you can still, if a girl is brand new, she has the choice of like, okay, do I grind and make my own personal brand, like build it up from scratch, or do I go shoot like 2 scenes or just 1 scene for Brazzers, and all of a sudden I've got like 200,000 followers on Twitter overnight.
And then you can transition into the OnlyFans
and then she never has to shoot again. Yeah. Now she just milks those fans and grows the fan base from there. So that's it's actually like mainstream porn still has a role in that it can signal boost women. Very, very successful.
Okay. Makes sense.
See, I never understood because you get the girls like, oh, you want to subscribe to my OnlyFans? I'm like, no, porn's free.
Well, that's another thing. So
I don't get it.
So I've
cheap.
It's not about being cheap. It's like, why am I going to pay to see you when I can see this for free? To me, it makes no sense.
Well, I'll tell you exactly why. So I've run a couple of girls' OnlyFans accounts for them, right? And it's really not about the porn. It's about
the connection, right? That you're talking to the people.
Exactly. Okay. It's about that intimacy. That's what the guy like. The good customers, the big spending ones, they're going to a girl's OnlyFans page
because they can't get in real life, so they want that connection in the.
You'd be shocked how many guys think that OnlyFans is some kind of dating, like they treat it like a dating app.
Are you serious?
Yeah, you'd be stunned.
What the?
Yeah, I've heard of people even having like just regular like podcasts and just using OnlyFans as a brand for other shit, not even having to do it sexual.
Yeah, you can do that as well. You can totally do that too. But. Yeah, the girls that make the best money on OnlyFans are the ones that are able to create these kind of artificial relationships with their fans.
They have way more engagement with the actual.
Yeah, like they remember their birthday, they remember what their job is, they remember what their pet's name is. Like
it makes the guy feel like there's an actual connection.
Bingo! It's exactly the same as webcamming work. Webcamming girls do the exact same thing, where they create this connection over a long period of time with those customers, and they're extremely loyal. And the dude will come online and he'll like complain about his missus.
Like an actual girlfriend.
These dudes will have wives, and it'll be like, crazy. Oh, she doesn't treat me like you treat me. Like you're much more attentive to my emotional needs, like et cetera. And they'll have these artificial relationships. Meanwhile, the person they're actually chatting to is some Filipino that's being paid like $1 an hour.
Yeah.
And it ain't even the girl. So they're actually having. So not only are they having a fake relationship, they're not even having a fake relationship with the right person.
They're having a fake relationship with a fake conversation with a fake person.
I worked at a place like that, and I was the fake person.
What?
I was just gonna say.
So you didn't mention that last time you were there. You were quiet as shit. What the hell?
How long?
Where'd that come from?
How long did you do that for?
Not very long, like 6 months. I didn't make that. It was like no money. So we sent real girls.
She was the one like, oh no, I'm wearing
a
full set of clothes.
Okay.
So was that for like a webcam agency?
It was this big guy. No. She really went in person and did who knows what. She had security. They went in a limo. It was legit. And I was in an office in San Dimas with some like this big creepy looking guy.
This is kind of like back when I was a kid. There was like in the newspaper, there was those like phone sex numbers.
Yeah,
and those little newspapers.
Yeah.
I remember that.
I remember I got in trouble with my parents when I stole their credit card to like call one up. It was like when I was a kid.
I did that too.
But that like what you were doing, like with the typing and stuff, was like the equivalent of that back in the day, right? That's what girls used to do. They used to be the phone. You just have to have a sultry voice,
and they're in the office and they're doing some random shit. Not even
exactly.
Okay.
Yeah, that racks up.
Okay.
Make good money.
Should like bump it up just a little. No, just kidding.
All right, real quick for the ladies, do you guys think that since guys have access to girls that are performing, they can watch them, see them naked, whatever it is that has to do with the whole porn industry, since it's free, obviously, do you think that has any effect with the way guys don't know how to approach women just because they have access to women like that and they can see and do whatever they want? They don't know how to come and talk to you guys correctly, don't know how to perform right in the bedroom. Do you think that affects it?
Oh, see, I got a good twist to that one.
I think that's
Everything.
Yeah, they think they're amazing. It's just like, wait, hold on a second.
So how often, I mean, with you guys, how often did the guy promote his sexual performance before he got with you and then he didn't add up?
I think most of the guys do that.
Really?
If they do that, I won't. I'll be turned
Yeah.
off, though, honestly. But I've heard that. Oh yeah, I can do this. I'm like,
Okay, so on the flip side, don't you think Instagram does that vice versa for the women?
For the females?
Women thinking that men, because they could post whatever they want, and now you guys have this expectation of what a man should have and what he did, and they're showing their fake pictures of them with Bentleys and cars and all that stuff. Now you're expecting that from a guy.
That's them young girls, honestly.
Yeah, younger generation. I feel like they're too sucked into that.
Yeah. They depend too much on that, and it's not realistic. And life is gonna hit them really hard in the ass, and then they're gonna realize that it doesn't work like that. Especially like if you settle down when you're young with a 30-something-year-old, because 30-something-year-old men love their young girls, but yet she's gonna go ahead and cheat on you because
Typically, all men love young girls.
around and around. So she's gonna have curiosity as in what it is to feel to be with somebody else that's not him.
Okay.
They got because they got such high. Their expectations are up here, right?
Yeah.
But reality's down here.
Yeah, but it's that. That's what Instagram tends to do, right? It makes people think that like, oh, like it's because Instagram is like a doctored highlight reel of people's lives, and
The
half the time
best
it's Photoshopped.
outtakes. The best outtakes of their lives.
the best outtakes, which are heavily filtered and possibly fake and photoshopped as well, right? And so
Very fabricated.
Yeah, very fabricated. And so everyone looks at that and thinks that their life actually sucks. They think, oh, I could have so much more if I was with that guy instead of this guy that I'm with right now. It creates these super unrealistic expectations.
And then, I mean, even on an after effect of that, some guys will look at that like, damn, that guy has that. I have no shot with this chick.
Right.
I feel like it's very like, you know, in the 2000s when all the music videos and all the guys wanted to be like the music video.
Yeah. Video vixen girls.
Yeah, and it's vice versa. Like right now, all of the girls are into like, oh, look at this couple on Instagram. They're so cute. They're so like, but we don't know what's going on behind the scenes.
Yeah.
Right.
Sure.
It's not realistic.
Yeah. I mean, they've got if they're a famous Instagram couple, they probably have a full-time photographer, videographer, like following them around, making sure, trying to capture all this stuff, or telling them like, hey, like we need some content.
And at the end of the day, there's so much editing
It's like
involved into that
staged.
because they have to
It's all
edit
staged.
all the bad shit.
Yeah, it's heavily staged. Like it's like reality TV. Every reality TV show you've ever
Staged.
seen that's ever existed is all staged and filmed.
Yeah.
I
All
refuse
of
to
it.
believe that. I love my reality TV.
Sorry to break your heart, but
Newsflash.
All right. Sterling, do you think that when it comes to men's performance, like obviously it all starts with us, like because we have to lead and you know what I'm saying, and take care of the bedroom, but what can the ladies improve that their ego might be blocking them, that they don't think that it's them?
Good question. So there's two things, right? So one is just plain enthusiasm. There's nothing sexier than enthusiasm,
Okay.
right? Especially when in my opinion, at least, a woman doesn't have to do that much.
I get you. Because the man's supposed to be leading and
Exactly. I think good sex is entirely dependent upon the dude.
Okay.
Like if the dude knows what the fuck he's doing, everyone's having a good time. Like her and him will have a fantastic time.
Okay.
Right. If he's not quite sure what he's doing, he's a bit timid, he's a bit shy. It's pretty rare that a woman is going to be able to bail that situation out and make it better, right? Especially if he can't rise to the occasion, right?
Yeah.
But as far as what can women do in the bedroom to make the experience better for everybody, just be enthusiastic.
Okay.
Right.
It's really as simple
in
as
the
that.
moment,
Yeah, I mean, present in the moment, but in enthusiasm. Because if you look at all of like the male fantasies that you might see on like in pornography, the typical theme is like a woman who's enthusiastic for his dick.
Yeah.
Like,
You know?
give it to me type shit. Yeah.
Right, and it all kind of plays on that, and that's what guys really want. They want that. One of a better phrase, they want to be worshipped in that way. Right? Treated like her
Like, you
personal
actually
god.
want my shit. Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah, like if you really want it, like I'll make me believe.
Yeah.
You know, that kind of enthusiasm.
Okay.
See,
And guys can tell. At least I can tell if it's
Yeah, for
fake.
sure.
real
For
or
sure.
fake.
The
Yeah,
same
she's
way,
like-
the same exact way you said you can tell if these two people are not actually into each other in a porno versus these two people are
Actually
into each other
enjoying
and they're
it.
acting.
Yeah.
It's the same way guys can tell, is she genuinely
Is
enthusiastic?
this real or is this bullshit?
Yeah, or is she putting on a show to try and appease my ego and make me feel better, right? The other thing, I'll quickly say, the other thing is that stops a lot of women from really like enjoying themselves in the bedroom is they get in their own head. Like that's a woman cannot climax, she cannot orgasm if
She has to be mentally checked in.
she has to be present.
Okay.
She can't be up here.
Yeah.
And that's guys can screw this up as well, unfortunately, by making. If a guy comes across like he's trying to please her, he's desperate to make her orgasm. He needs her to come to appease his own ego.
Yeah.
He's putting her in her head instantly. He put all this pressure on her.
Yeah.
It's not natural.
It's not natural,
It
right?
just feels like
It was
Too
what?
much.
Yeah. What is it from your perspective? What does that feel like?
you just start overthinking, and then you're just trying to. I guess
Like you want to come for him, but like you're not into it, or
It takes it away from
it takes it away, and then you're like trying to find your way
Yeah,
back,
back
and
in
it's
the
just like
Ends up messing up the whole
yeah,
movie.
the
Yeah,
whole
right.
movie.
Okay, that was interesting way you described it. So like it's like you're on a journey and you're getting there, and then you've lost your
Yeah,
way.
you just string off. You're like, wait, come back somehow.
Huh.
That's been about half my experiences.
Yeah.
Which your
It's
mind's
like-
gone.
I know what I'm talking about.
hey, that's what
Hear
we
that?
got.
Everybody pay attention.
It's like when you tell somebody to scratch your back, and then they're almost there. They're almost there.
They get their own
they
spot.
And then you
go
got to
too
move it for
over,
them.
And I'm like, no. What are you
Okay.
Yeah.
doing?
Okay, good description.
So do you guys think that sex is equally or more so your mind than so much the feeling?
For me, it's very much a mental thing.
Yeah.
At this point.
Like
Have to
good
be.
sex would be
Yeah.
a mental.
Yeah, but I think it kind of depends upon how much experience a guy has. If a guy hasn't had sex in like 6 months, you can do anything to him,
Yeah.
and it'll be fine,
Yeah.
right? But if a guy has,
On a regular,
a
yeah.
regular active
Yeah.
sex life, then it's way. Every vagina feels the same.
I was getting ready to say that. Also, look at.
Have you ever had one that you were just like, whoa, that looks crazy?
You say that looks crazy.
I'm sure there's a lot that looks crazy, but performs
Okay.
crazy or feels crazy.
Like-
maybe?
You
Is
know
that
what?
you're trying to say?
I have had like a couple of instances where I've gone in and I'm like, damn, okay. But in my mind, looking back on it, I'm like, was it actually like
Yeah, was
anything
it?
physical, or was it just the fact that I was really into this girl? And it's a
Yeah.
mental thing,
So as I say, I piggyback off of what he says. I say it all the time. You guys might get offended, but like I say, if you actually took 10 guys and line them up and you show them that, hey, these are the 5 girls on the other side of this wall. Here's a hole. And if he thinks she looks the best, but he knows he actually puts in and out of the hole a few times, and they say that they're switching girls, but like we say, okay, now it's her, but if it was really her,
He's gonna
he
say
wouldn't
that.
know. He'd be checked into it, and he would think that this was actually the best because I'm actually attracted to her.
And now
So
number
I'm on
5
it.
felt the best.
So for me, I always say like sexual experiences that like I'm gonna do what I have to do, whatever. But it's the way the woman responds back to me, and her performance is what whatever girls want to say that they come back to. They say they have the best pussy type of thing. Like it's not that. It's like pussy is pussy. It's it's the performance, how she reacts and responds back to me, especially when I'm leading. Like how she responds back to me. Like she can turn me on more, or I could be like, man, this girl is just. I guess let me get this over.
That's what I said in one of the past episodes. They asked what was like a worst sexual experience, and I told them the girl just pretty much took her clothes off and laid there,
Laid there, yeah.
and expected me to get like I'm supposed to get it. Like I'm supposed to get turned on by that. Like no, you're gonna have to work for this shit. Like
There is nothing worse than an unenthusiastic hand job.
Ooh.
and she was
That is horrible.
she was pretty as shit. No, she literally just took her clothes off and laid down. And I was like, you're not going to do nothing? And she's like, you're not getting the route? No, you're just laying there. Like, what am I supposed to do?
You know what? Fun fact. That scenario you just described of like, you know, like a picture and then a hole with a vagina broken through. There is literally a porn series made of exactly that.
Really?
Yeah.
And there's a big fan base for it?
It's like a Czech like sex. It's supposed to be like a sex club, and it's like the bottom half of like a woman's torso poking through a hole.
Is that like a European thing or something? Okay.
With a picture of the person you're having sex with.
That's all I never.
And then they've got,
Never heard of that one.
then they've got a
He obviously
camera on
had
the
it.
other side filming her facial expression.
Yeah. Okay, I have seen something like that before.
It's actually really hot.
Yeah.
I've
seen that. Yeah.
Okay, but
Yeah, but it's also like the sexy part about it is that it's like she's like being used.
Yeah.
You know, that's the
That she's
fantasy.
stuck, she's actually stuck there,
You
and
know,
she has to.
that's what makes it hot,
Yeah.
and that's what makes it hot for women who watch that. Is that it's like that she's lost control. Of this, she's not responsible for what's happening.
Yeah, basically.
Right.
Okay.
The guys are responsible for what's being done to her, and that's the same. That's the reason why like BDSM and stuff is sexy, is because it's that element of control is being taken away, and she can actually just
release and give
let
up.
go.
Yeah.
See, I necessarily don't like the whole like glory hole type situation, just because I don't know what's on the other side. And if it's a guy, I'm going to jail. Right? You see what I'm saying? Like I just can't.
But you say every pussy is the same, right? But then I think about those. I mean, I've came across a lot in my time, but I've seen, you know, when they just like this one I seen has like traumatized me, where this lady went to a dildo factory, right? So they like start sizing her up. They go from small, and they go to one that's like the size. It was like this. And I'm like, how does your body...
The funny thing is, I had an actual situation like that when I was younger with a girl.
What?
I was, fingering her. And I
it's
got,
just like, where's
I got
the
4
walls?
fucking fingers in her. And she was like, just taking it like it was nothing. And then she was... Yeah, and I'm like... And then she was like, kind of like, that's it type shit. And I was like, well, I ain't going to be able to do shit for you then. So we're done.
You think this is small?
Yeah, like...
You had luck.
Yeah. I'm just, all right, well, I'm out.
But think about it. Like a baby comes out of there.
Right. But
Yeah.
but then when you're... Okay, you don't think about that kind of shit when you're when you're trying to pound it out. You know what I mean? Like, how... Like, have you ever been on a set where you're just like, I can't get into it because of that?
Because
The way it looks? You're talking about the way
if
it
it's
looks?
blown out, I'd be like,
Oh, yeah, okay.
no, I
So
can't.
you're talking about the way it looks?
I can't. Well,
By the way it looks, or if she used
If-
like too big of a dildo and you're like, I can't.
Right.
Okay.
I'm like, I don't feel the friction type of deal.
Yeah.
You know?
Okay. So there's a hypothesis about vaginas that I'll go down here. So like, there's like the theory. I like this theory. I think this kind of explains a little bit my experience. There's like a couple of different types of vagina, right? And depending upon like what your penis is like, the different types of vaginas are going to feel better or worse for you, right? So there's ones that are like tighter, there's ones that are looser, there's ones that are smooth on the inside, there's ones that are ribbed on the inside. Those are your vaginas, and so it's like guys tend to have. I think if you thought back and broke down like the women you've enjoyed the most. You're probably going to find you would probably be able to describe it.
Yeah,
you got to describe the ones you like. It's like,
no, it was like this. It was like that.
Yeah. So my personal preference is actually like a looser, smoother one.
Really?
Yeah, but most guys will be like, oh, I want them tight. Want them tight.
Yeah.
I don't.
Yeah.
I genuinely don't. Yeah,
Okay.
that's call it a personal preference. But but then again,
Yeah, that's weird. Because actually, speak up on that. I've actually been with somebody that's had that mommy makeover, whatever that.
Yeah.
oh, the
yeah.
labiaplasty.
Yeah.
See, I had one of those too when they got the whole stomach and
very,
then all that shit, everything
that
all
felt
reconstructed.
like very different.
Yeah.
Yeah, it felt kind of weird.
Why?
Because it's different from
kind of
like
artificial.
from when you're actually starting the actual experience, and obviously you guys are just getting into it, muscles tight from whenever she recently had sex, and then it loosens up just a little bit, but the fact
And
that
those,
it
it
stays
Yeah.
the same like the whole time as somebody's like just holding me like the whole time.
Like you're forcing it in there.
Yeah, yeah.
Every time you insert it, you're forcing it in. It's
basically. Yeah.
No.
I mean, you can do exercises for that too.
No, the
Kegel,
Kegels.
Kegel,
Yeah,
Kegel.
yeah.
We do it right now.
So am I.
All right.
Okay. How much of like in your program do you just give men steps for the bedroom, or does confidence play a lot of who they are outside the bedroom? Does that trickle on into being?
Or what part of your program is the most, like, because you say you have several different books on each program. Which program do you see that men usually typically go to?
The most impactful one is the one I call it sexual dominance escalation, and it's where I basically break down. I try to make my stuff autism proof. So I tried to create this video course on like, okay, how can I take a guy who has very little sexual experience,
Like those books says dummy, like this for
dummies, right?
Yeah.
And how can I take like my brain and kind of download it into his head
Where he gets it.
in a way that he could get it? And I think
No matter what sexual experience you have.
and I think I accomplished that. But, so I made like I came up with this like sliding spectrum of like super vanilla stuff all the way to like basically BDSM, and I broke down a bunch of different like sexual techniques along the spectrum, and I baby step guys along this spectrum so they can be like, because the rationale behind it was, one of the things that I get a lot of guys messaging me about is that they're not confident enough to be dominant and kind of like that sexually aggressive, passionate
They're scared
guy.
of the reaction from the girl, or
They're
something. Like that.
legitimately scared.
We love that dominance, though.
Bingo.
We love that dominance.
Women-
and we
women
can
love it.
tell
And they can
if
tell when
it's
you're
fake.
faking it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I had
when
a guy
the confidence is
smack me.
real.
I had a guy smack me in the ass. Oh yeah, but I'm like,
You
that-
don't
I'm
usually
like,
do
get off me,
this.
bitch.
Yeah. You don't usually do this. You're trying this because I mean,
I'm gonna choke you back.
let me show you how to do it.
I don't believe it.
Yeah.
But you're saying it's as good. You're saying exactly what I tell guys, but it's coming out of
Well, woman-
But yeah, that's why I'm
Yeah.
glad I'm getting all this.
Yeah,
like,
this
on
is
video, so
great.
it's actually.
Boys taking notes now.
Yeah, but
guys listening,
that's
right?
it. Women love a dominant.
I've had to have. One time I had a guy try to choke me, but he was like this,
Oh, I had that.
and I'm like,
Because he didn't want to hurt you.
no, I had to grab his hand and like squeeze. I'm like,
Ah,
this is the pressure.
He grabs his throat like this. God damn it.
It's because it depends too. Like if they do it in the pressure, like in some part of their hand, it's too much, and you're squeezing like my fucking collar.
You don't want to crush
Yeah,
the
you gotta-
the wind.
you
It's
gotta
like,
squeeze
have
the
to do it a certain
sides.
way. This is how you do it. Like, why do you
I'm a
have to
sad one.
stop whatever we're doing in order to do it this way?
And same with pulling hair.
Yeah.
Go-
Sometimes they try
Oh,
to pull
yeah.
hair, you gotta go under.
You gotta go up the back here. Yeah.
Yeah.
Guys, a lot of guys don't.
Okay, so
See, a lot of guys might be afraid that they might pull out some fake hair.
Some weeds or something.
Oh yeah, you gotta be careful.
But
I'm like, oh yeah, oh
those
shit.
two exact things you just described are in that
good
course.
for you. I
Like
love
literally, like how to pull hair properly, how to choke someone properly, how to spank someone properly. Like I break down all this stuff. Like I said, autism proof.
Okay.
So all you guys that are
As simple as
unconfident
I
out
possibly
there,
can.
check out his page.
But that's the idea. Is like, okay, if I can teach a guy how to be more dominant in the bedroom and if he's executing these various like techniques properly, he's gonna, if he knows how to do them properly now. Okay, now he's going to do them with confidence.
Yeah.
Whereas before he was unsure about how to even do it. So there's that timidness
Yeah.
coming in, and you can sense that.
Yeah, like she said, they can tell when you're faking it.
Exactly.
I had one time a guy who had like a smaller penis or whatever, but I don't know what he did. I don't know his tricks that he did with me, but I was just like, he would say something and I would be able to just be like nut. You know what I mean? Or he would say, like, he would be kind of like a dom, and I'm like, oh yeah, let's go, I'll ride it all night.
Not the size at all. It's all those things you have
I don't
in
know,
your
not for me
stuff.
though. I mean, I don't like it like super big because I'm just like, I don't like what if it's like too big. It's just like I want to enjoy it and not look like I'm like hurting. You know what I mean? Or not feel like I'm hurting. But yeah, there's a happy medium for me.
That's interesting you said it, because a guy can be dominant and it's got nothing to do with what he's doing with his hands.
Right.
it all comes from here.
Yeah, exactly. And it was the weirdest thing because I feel like I don't know if it's almost like he trained my mind. Like he would say something like it would just feel, I would feel like warm and tingling inside.
Like he's actually in control.
Yeah. Hell yeah. And
he's probably hypnotizing you, didn't he?
Oh, shit.
1, 2, 3, sleep.
Oh, no.
You can do that.
Yeah. There's masters out there that do this.
You can literally like hypnotize girls into like coming on command.
Wow.
This is a thing you can do. Yeah. You can, because
she's like,
God damn.
Before she messes with someone, she's like, can you read this, please?
These are my trigger words.
Yeah.
Because think about it, like it's, I don't, you know Pavlov's dog. You know that old story.
I
Pavlovian conditioning. Where so like Pavlov was this Russian dude. He had dogs, and like he would every time he fed them, he'd ring a bell. Right. Bowl of food, ring a bell. Bowl of food, ring a bell. And then eventually he took the food away and just rang the bell, and the dogs still salivated. Like
they still think they're eating.
They think that's an anchored response, right? And you can do the same thing with anything, but you can definitely do that with an orgasm. So you can make a woman orgasm, and you can anchor it to like a specific touch or words or your phrases, whatever. So you can start to trigger that on command whenever you want.
Okay, I think you just sold 3 books right now.
Yeah, words are super powerful.
Mm-hmm.
I say like a lot of things that men don't do a lot, or not a lot, but like the moaning that helps.
Say that one more time.
The moaning helps. When
them moaning or you?
Yes,
like
no, men moaning.
Like when they give the feedback.
You're doing a good job. That makes me feel more.
Like I want to try
more
harder.
into it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's one of the questions I ask women a lot. Is like, how do you feel if you're in a bed with a guy and he's completely silent?
I don't know.
Nope.
What if he's performing right and he's not and he's still quiet?
Or if he just makes noise while he's coming, type of thing.
Okay, like I said, there's a happy medium. I've been with a dude that wouldn't shut the fuck up.
Every touch, she's like, "Oh my god!" Oh.
It was just I couldn't focus on the job at hand.
He was making too much noise,
and I was just like,
it's like Tarzan over here.
Right? No, he was into it for sure, but I was just like, okay, just like shh.
Yeah.
You're the one doing the mouth covering, like shut up.
Let me put a pillow right over your head. Like, damn. No, it was just really interesting because it threw me off, like, because I would just be doing my thing, and it's just like too much. I think it's too much mind stimulation at the time. It was just like I'm focusing on what he's saying, and he would just say a lot of stuff. I'm like,
So he's like color commentary the entire way through.
Yeah, I can't do that.
He was talking. He wasn't moaning. He was talking.
Yeah, that's true.
The talking is like.
Yeah.
Some talking is nice. Some talking is nice.
Some talking is nice,
but within reason.
Within reason.
Yes.
Yeah, but the moaning thing, that's the interesting part. Is like, okay, if a guy's not making any like feedback noise or whatever,
that's a no.
How does it make you feel as a woman?
I feel
But you're not doing much for him.
Yeah.
But I've heard that you guys do that, so you guys won't come faster. Or faster.
I mean, not personally, that's not
I don't say
anything
so.
really.
Yeah, it's preference. It's about like I have to be into it basically. It's all about being into it.
Now, I would say this. Now, if you're typically like if we're on a consistent basis of having sex, and you typically aren't that boisterous, and then you out of the blue become boisterous and be like, oh shit, fuck me harder or something like that, that'll fuck like my head up. Like, oh shit, like I wasn't expecting that.
Where'd this come from?
Okay, yeah.
What were you doing?
Who taught you that?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's funny.
So the next will be, do you ladies feel like the man, or pretty much, do you feel entitled in the bedroom to where the man should make you come? You feel like every single time you guys have sex that the man should make you come? Like whose orgasm is more important, the man or the woman's?
The woman's first than the man.
So the woman's first than the man?
Okay, so here's my thought, right? Because I have had times where I wake them up and like suck their dick, you know what I mean? And I enjoy the fact that I got them off, and I'm just like, okay, roll back over, go to sleep, you know, and I'm fine with that. But other times I'm just like, I think it's a two-way street. Like if you do me right, and I'm just like, I get the chance to like lay back and just you might, just have fun with it, then, like, I'll surprise you. And, I think it's like a give and take. I don't think it should just be us as women.
Mm-hmm. Here's my question. Does it count as sex if he doesn't finish?
Yeah, you count.
He's inside of you. So you're saying you don't have to count any bodies if they never come.
Yeah, this goes back to
didn't go
whose
that
climax is
far.
more
I didn't mean
important.
it doesn't count as a body. I meant like
This count don't
I
count.
meant okay. Like does that count as like
Fulfilling sex.
you've finished?
Yeah,
Does it fulfill the criteria of like that's a sex session if he didn't climax?
Or either.
If neither of you,
Like, it has to be they both do. If they don't, it didn't count.
So how do you ladies feel when if the guy comes and you guys don't?
Frustrated.
Yeah.
I want to go to the
You're
next
not going to be
one.
happy. I am not going to be
It
happy.
depends
Unless it's a
if
long relationship. And it's
Can
okay
you-
if that happens.
So you don't have any fulfillment that you
Made him come?
No,
at all?
if I actually enjoy it, I'm like, I made you now? Okay.
Yes.
You don't?
But I do like it back. That's just
But it
me.
doesn't have to be every time though.
Yeah.
What was
Do
that?
you expect it every
Yeah, do
time
you
you
expect it
guys
every
get
I
time?
don't
sexual?
expect it every time because I do like I get pleasure knowing that
You gave him
Let
pleasure.
you
Yeah.
get
Yeah.
Okay. You guys don't feel the
It
same?
could be like that. It could be like that. But it has
So you got to
be
work
like
for that.
because I like
No,
to
it has to be like
the soul out
a
of
during
somebody.
the day kind of thing.
like you're in a rush.
She got
Sun up, sun down.
She comes with stipulations.
If you stay home all day, okay, you guys have no rush to go anywhere. You
So if
guys
it's
have
your
all the
guys'
time.
day off,
Yes, and you want to just casually just turn him over and, or...
Turn him over.
Yeah, just turn him over, give him a little bit of a head, that's it.
Why is
A
he,
little
why,
bit of-
why is he laying down on his
Yeah.
face?
why do you have to turn him over? What did you do to him
Has
beforehand?
this man passed out from
You
something?
know?
Okay.
Give him some head, do whatever people get to do when they're in the shower. You could be messy. So you could be messy in the shower and then get out and then do whatever and then have sex. Like, it has to.
So
Sex has happened.
do you think a man feels fulfilled if he doesn't come? How you just said, give him a little bit of head. A little bit of head is not going to make him.
When I mean,
Well,
give him a little bit
I'm
of
just going off
head,
what you
I'm
said.
trying
I'm just-
It could be anything. Like, I don't mean, when I say a little bit of head, I mean, like, make him come.
Mhm.
While you're
A quickie.
giving him head, yes. That could be anything. Like, let's say if he's doing something nice for you, like he's cooking, I don't mind giving him head while he's cooking. Give him a different
What's after that oil
experience.
burn
Like,
on the back
Yeah.
Oh
of your head? Bit of bacon grease.
Yeah.
Rub it in.
No, I
You know, keep my friend-
honestly I think it's very nice when a girl knows that she gives her man pleasure, right?
That idea of like, that's guys can tell that too. That's that
Mhm.
enthusiasm I was
Yeah.
talking about. Like
Yeah.
when she's getting off on getting me off, that's what I'm
That-
talking
yeah.
about
I
with
love that.
enthusiasm.
Yeah.
I love that. So, like one of my exes, he would have a stressful day. He would want to play video games, right? When he would just want to decompress, he'd play video games, and I would suck his dick. And it was
Wifey
like,
material.
No? Like, what the fuck?
you know. And then it's just like one of those
Need it.
things. And then he would blow my back out. You know what I mean? He would just like next time or whatever.
Yeah.
He would just be very affectionate or like he'd throw me around. I'm like, okay, I'll take it. Like,
Okay, let me ask you a little caveat question. So, can you have really enjoyable, like let's say, really great sex without you finishing?
yeah.
Yeah.
Have you had an experience like that
Really?
where like the sex was really passionate, but
Yeah.
you didn't actually finish?
She seems
still
like she's
enjoy it.
not fulfilled. Yeah, see.
That's
That's what I'm saying. She seems like she has to come.
You have a very,
yeah.
very
Anything.
hard line in the
Yeah.
sand.
Okay, for you two, like
If
so
I make him come, he better make
Yeah.
me come. Period.
so
Even
what
if it's later on the day. It's just, or something
You have a
because-
24
she have a 24-hour stipulation.
yeah,
I know.
it's cool. She'll give you a rain check. You gotta come back and take care. I get it.
shot clock is
Yeah.
winding down.
Like a
It's like, look, motherfucker, it's almost 12, and
Right.
I've
Yeah.
tried 3 times, motherfucker, and it ain't worked yet.
all right. So for you two, what kept you engaged? Like even though you didn't come, like what was it about the sex? Like how did he still? Like you weren't disappointed. Like you see, she has a frustrated face.
She just look like, fuck this.
What made you go back? Like, what made you keep going back?
Yeah.
Well, most likely okay, so say it's the first time and he didn't. I would, of course, if we had a good personal connection or especially emotion connection, of course I'd go try again. But after 4 or 5 times, obviously
okay.
I'm going to be like, okay. But it's not just sex that you can make me come. You can do other things. That's the thing. It could be
Okay.
any way.
Okay.
Yeah.
Not just sexual.
Okay.
He
Just
washes
touch
the
me.
dishes, and then you're like, oh shit.
Okay. So being
That does not work.
I'm like, I need a better description.
So going back to your courses is like I'm pretty sure they said that they probably experienced it before. Like, do you have somewhere in where you're teaching guys it's possible to make women climax without actual penetration?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, I give guys like a foolproof like method for like going down on chicks. I talk about a lot of dirty talk stuff, basically along the lines of what I was mentioning before, like it's not really hypnosis, but it's semi-hypnotic.
Okay.
The way you can talk, the way you can like.
Don't teach him that.
They're always trained.
Real train.
I bet it makes sense.
Surprisingly, usually they blow the horn when they come
With
by.
these headphones on, I was like,
Yeah,
I wasn't sure.
No,
what
that's what
was
I
going
said. These mics pick up everything, like literally.
on. Like it's an earthquake, isn't
Yeah,
it?
but we're not in Ukraine.
We deal with that, or we deal with the airplanes flying over because the airport's right there.
All right, that's fine. Makes sense. But yeah. Like there's a lot of different ways you can get a girl to pop, as I like to say. Yeah.
Okay.
Most girls can't, which is sexy.
Yeah, a lot of women women tend to be a lot more either penetrative or
Mental connection.
or clitoral in the way that they climax. You know, but then obviously there's squirting orgasms, there's anal orgasms, there's like girls can come from a whole bunch of shit.
Okay.
It's really fun.
So
Like different types
Could we
of
put the
women.
myth to bed about the squirting? That's just pee.
What's
right?
the myth? Like, the myth is that squirting is pee. Okay, the answer is yes and no. So, if you watch a porno and the word squirting is anywhere in the title, that woman is pissing on the man. Because she drank like...
Where's my bubble?
Sorry, man. Okay.
I had to get the myth broken.
There
I
is
just-
another caveat to that. So, like, if
a lot of
if
girls
it's-
is, no, I'm coming.
if it literally says like squirting teens 12 starring blah blah blah, okay, that in that scene she drank like a gallon of water before they started filming, and then she's just pissing clear, right? However, if a girl randomly squirts during a porno and it wasn't scripted, that's real.
But is it still pee?
It comes from the Skene's gland, like the fluid that a woman produces during a squirting orgasm comes from this gland, which is kind of the female equivalent of the prostate. So it actually produces this fluid, which is very similar to seminal, like to jizz without sperm in it.
Oh, okay.
So that is
like
what-
the pre-cum, like
Yeah,
liquid
kind
type
of like that. So like that's what you're actually pumping out of
A little
her.
bit of pee in it, don't you agree? I feel like it's always like half and half.
Yeah, because it's coming from a very similar place.
Well, put it
And
like this, like,
especially
So if you're
like
doing it
breastfeeding.
right, guys, it's just half piss. Okay.
Yeah, okay. I think that's a fairly accurate answer.
Not fully getting peed on, but,
okay.
there's some in there.
But for the women who have squirted, right? Is it clearly a different sensation
Yes.
to say like a clitoral orgasm?
Yes.
Feels totally
Oh,
different.
totally different. I had an ex who wanted me to always go in his mouth. Like if I was on right here, he'd have his
Jesus
mouth
Christ.
right here, and he'd make me, and it was.
For real? What?
Sorry.
Your soundboard is on fire.
What? Wow.
That was his request.
Sometimes.
What?
Jesus Christ.
But it's different, like you said. Sorry.
Yeah, everybody has their
That's
thing. It's cool.
Yeah.
Everyone's got their thing.
Yeah.
But I don't have.
I'm not gonna drink to that.
So does that tell you that clitoral is better? I guess because I don't ever have to do that again.
Sorry, say that again.
Clitoral, I think, is better because I don't ever have to do that again.
You don't have to piss in a guy's mouth again.
I'm not gonna do that again.
All right.
It was half piss.
You know who you are out there, all right, guys?
So one time,
Uh-oh.
One
At
time.
band camp or what?
yeah. One time it was just like a spur of the moment thing. I ended up hooking up with my homegirl and her wife, and there was somebody else in the room or whatever. But
They were
I
just
was
watching? The third person was just watching?
No,
or you just-
everybody was just like smishing, you know, and it's all females, right? And I was like, okay, this is something new, wonderful, and I was just like, dang. So I was under one of my girlfriend's wife, and I love her. But she was just like, I was surprised because I've been with girls, but I'm not like fully with girls. So the fact that she just like went all over me, I was like,
Wait a
okay. I was like, all right, must be doing something right. But she was just like having fun with it, and I loved it.
Did you squirt back to get back at her?
I think
Take this.
That would have been heat.
No. It was like weird
Surprise,
because
motherfucker.
it was just one of those things where I mean, because I've been with I've had a girlfriend in high school, right? But you can only do so much. Like I'd be like, Mom, we're just hanging out. You know what I mean? Like trying to be behind closed doors because I mean it's embarrassing, but not really embarrassing, but I was
Just the stigma behind it.
well, I was trying to do that, and I was like a PK. So it was just kind of like, ooh, I want to see what I can do. You know what I mean? But I mean, she liked it, and I was like, oh, I like that. She liked it. Yeah, exactly. I think that's my mentality. If I see that I'm doing something that you like, really like,
if the other person's really enjoying it, it gets you off.
Yeah, that's how I am.
Okay, quick question then.
Uh-oh.
Who, in your limited experience with women as well, right? Who has been better at going down on you?
Men or men?
Women or men?
Good question.
So I would only I would only allow women to go down on me at one point. Then I had an ex-boyfriend that was really
into it.
Into it, and then it was just on from there. So I was like, okay.
So
maybe
what was
it's
it?
not
What
so
was
bad.
the difference between the two?
He would just like go. He knew what he was doing.
Like before him, why wouldn't you let men go down on you?
I don't know. I just felt really like. I don't know. I wouldn't feel that connection.
A lot of women kind of feel a bit embarrassed by it. You'd be
Would you say
surprised.
that? Would you say that's
you'd be
you?
surprised.
I don't know if I was embarrassed, but it's just like.
Or self-conscious about it.
About letting a man go down on them?
Yeah.
I've seen that too.
Maybe that was it. I have no clue, but I felt.
You know the reason behind that? No.
Maybe it's like self-conscious about her own hygiene or something like that.
Okay, good. I never heard that before. That's why I'm like, what the hell?
That's probably 3 hours ago. You know what I mean?
Because most women I you talk to, they're like, no, if you don't do it, then what the fuck? I sure
Yeah,
the fuck
I
ain't
mean-
going down on you.
To be honest, in my experience, I've only ever come across that with women who are not Western.
Okay.
So maybe,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
Interesting.
Yeah, no, that's why I never heard it. That's why I had to ask questions.
So you say that you came across that with women that are not Western. So.
Like Eastern European, Muslim, like as in Arabic, Asians, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
Women not of the U.S.
Yeah, and I think maybe there was
More traditional countries.
Yeah, there's probably like a religious element to that as well, a little religious element to the paranoia,
Like a mental block type
yeah,
thing.
like the self-conscious part as well. Yeah, just a weird observation.
I feel like because they're more clean. They're more clean.
Who's more clean?
Like
They don't want my
other
dirty
people that
beard
are not
contaminating them.
Oh, what are you saying?
No, it's just like, for example, like a lot of, I didn't know, like a lot of girls like have a cup next to like the toilet.
Oh, I know
They
what you're talking
don't-
about.
they
Yeah,
don't
the way they
don't-
clean. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
they're more clean about.
I get you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking
So I feel like they're more subconscious about it. So they're here, everybody's like, oh well.
Okay, that
about.
might be
Or like
the
some
answer
pat
right
pat
there.
with a tissue and
Yeah.
just like okay, I get you.
Yeah, that you might have hit it right in the head. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
Maybe.
that's what it is.
Yeah.
So for like
Makes sense.
another thing in your program, like pretty sure like the women can agree with this too. Like there's guys that they might know, like they know that they're not well endowed, but they are unsure. And then there's girls that they've been sexually with, and the girls are lying to them, telling like, nah, don't worry, it's big enough. Don't worry, you're okay. And you guys know that he's not. But the women are pumping
Never
them up.
say those words.
Yeah.
It's big enough. Don't ever say that.
That'll crush a man's ego real quick. Like, huh?
Pro tip.
Oh, okay.
So like,
You gotta put them down. Don't just play.
so
It's not that tiny.
would you agree that
I've
that,
seen
that-
smaller.
that messes with the guy's like performance? Like,
Yeah, that's gonna screw a guy up.
yeah.
Yeah.
So how often have you guys?
I get a slew like, what?
How often have you guys actually did that and actually told a guy that?
I've never said that. I
So if
would-
the guy was small, you told him he was small.
No, I would never tell him.
Oh,
Sorry, you're saying have I ever
But would you still go through with the sexual act?
So I had one guy, a specific guy who was the smallest little thing I've ever seen in my life.
Jesus Christ.
I liked him so much. I told you.
She said I lied to him so much.
For 2 months, we did the right thing. We built it up. We waited. I liked him so much. Our kissing chemistry was there, and then it was just.
That's probably why his kissing game was so
But-
good.
So how many times did he?
Yeah,
How many
but
times
then
did he
it's
get to?
So, I feel bad. He went in my thighs. He didn't even make it inside of me. He just kept pumping, and I let him come.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
With
But-
a condom on.
But before
My thighs.
before you had
And I cried home on the way home.
before you had sex with him, when did you know that he
That-
wasn't in doubt?
That was the first time I've ever came near it. I don't
You
know.
never touched it
We
because
did
most girls
things
they'll go in and most girls they'll go in and they'll touch. You know what I'm saying, to investigate to see what they're getting. You know what I'm saying. She's laughing. She knows she does it.
Nobody should investigate.
I mean,
Well, they'll take it now. Shoot. Now I gotta rush shouldn't have sex with everyone I date because now I'm nervous.
All that time wasted.
If I'm gonna get disappointed, I might as well get disappointed right at the jump.
But you said, like, so everything else about the guy was great,
Everything.
and you just couldn't get past that to pursue it further.
It was that bad. Unfortunately, poor thing.
And you only gave him one try?
It was like that, and
Jesus
and
Christ!
really
Everybody look
white
at this.
and uncircumcised,
Yeah.
and the whole deal.
But this like he couldn't.
Like he couldn't make you come other ways.
Yeah, in other ways to where.
Like he didn't went down on you, and it was like horrible too, or.
Try to do anything else really? Yeah, we had kissing and a little bit of touching, but he didn't make me come any other way. No.
So he didn't go down on you, or none, like none of that shit,
Uh-uh.
or you didn't want him to.
I don't remember. We were drunk.
She said, "I don't remember."
Have you ever lied to a guy?
No, I just get up and leave.
Wow, that'll crush a
Have
man's
you
ego.
actually done
Stop
that?
the cap.
You've actually gotten up and like, nope,
Yeah.
I'm out.
Yeah.
That'll kill a man's ego right there.
So,
Jesus
but did
Christ.
you like how he said? Did
You
you
guys gonna
did
go
you
jump
check
off
him
a
out
bridge? Like, all right, I'm
first?
done.
Or
No, and that's
so he actually
Yeah, she gotta
penetrated
check
you,
out
and
first.
that's how you found
That's
out?
what
Like you
he
didn't
said.
check first?
no, because
Or like right when he pulled his pants off, you were like, "Oh, that's not it."
And I was like, nope.
Damn.
I got off.
Man.
Nope.
Hey, I-
Do that. I'm taking that.
Whoever you are out there, I'm sorry.
Slow it down. I just dissed you.
If you didn't kill yourself, I'm sorry.
In that case, I might as well be with the girl. I'm pretty sure she
Fuck.
know how to do something else.
Yeah.
Jesus
Okay,
Christ.
but if you
Okay.
are tiny, so the guys listening, you just gotta
Pay
master
attention.
your mouth, your touch, even her,
Well, not
her
even
arms.
you can't. But see, you can't say that because see what she just said. She said she seen that shit and was like,
It might have
bye.
changed. Yeah, but he should have done that before he showed her. Before he showed her. So you gotta strategize.
Okay,
when
so-
you're not
so-
very
Okay,
good.
I'll give the
Yeah.
guys a strategy.
Yeah, yeah.
Strategy.
The way around that, if you are a guy and you know that you are not very well endowed, you make up for that with extreme dominance.
There you go.
You make up for that by being the guy
So
who's.
you guys
No,
agreed
'cause you,
that
no, you
that-
have
that
to.
they were
You have to.
in
It's the only way
Right.
around because you can't dominate her with your penis.
So was
So
that
you have
guy?
to
Was that
dominate
guy
her with your
dominant?
mind.
Right.
Was he dominant?
It's about the experience.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm asking. Was he dominant or was he like timid?
Yeah, I was just like.
Well, for instance, like if he said like if he was from start was like dominant and had you mentally checked in, like would you still live? If you would, if
Sorry,
you
it only goes for so long.
Before he showed it. Before he showed it.
Dang, savage, savage. Like, oh no, she pulled out the ruler. Like, nah, this ain't gonna work.
I've had a small one and it was great because he did all the other stuff. So for me, it works. And I
Look at her
love it
face.
more than a bigger one. So yes, it works.
hold on, man, she got
All these faces. So what's
she got
small
all
to
these
you?
standards and stuff. Hold on.
What's small to you?
Don't do that.
No, well, we're here for that shit. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
What's
What is-
small
what is
to you?
small?
I mean, you could
Show-
do
show-
this,
show
or
Your hands.
you could say inches. You could do your hand measurements
Why are we gonna do
because we keep it real around here.
So
We're that
I'm
crowd.
sorry, no.
what's gonna make you?
No, that's what I'm saying. What's small to you?
Microphone?
Like, what would say like no, fuck you? Like, what would make you like that guy? You got up and walked away,
If I could grab it with one hand.
huh?
Like, if it's like, I can't.
So if you hold it one
So
hand,
you have to,
and-
yeah. It has to be
I
two
like
hands.
size. That's still a good size.
No.
Damn, hey guys, you see,
I'm saying, no, all women, you know.
You're saying
Thickness.
it's not
It's
even
the
showing
thickness.
through your hand.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Like,
Oh, okay.
Okay, because I was about to say, not every guy's gonna be two-handers.
yeah.
Okay, all right. And for you, lady,
That's okay.
So like the head has to at least come out of your hand, right?
Yeah,
Like has to poke
if
out.
your nose touches the abdomen,
Huh?
before if your nose, like if you're giving somebody head, and
I'm
if
sitting
your
there like, wait,
nose
my nose
touches
is
the-
not touching my abdomen.
The
What you talking about?
abdomen before it hits the back of your throat, it's just like
I've never
man, she
tried
gave a
that.
precise,
Damn,
a
all right.
precise.
So that's how you do your measuring.
Yeah, I was gonna say
She's like,
she
hold
gave a
on, before we even
precise.
start.
no.
Like,
but
nah, you're not gonna cut it, guys.
Okay, so
Sorry.
like I said,
We're
I said,
done.
that one guy that had a small penis, that had me like
shit.
at the snap of his hand, like
He was like, he said how he was more dominant in the.
he was dominant. And then I've had some dude come at me, like, yeah, he was talking hella tough, and it's like when
He
you got
pulled
in
it out and
there,
it was like
I just
pinky
like-
size?
But then it's just like he still thought he was the one. I was like,
Well, you know why that is because girls before him told him he was the one.
That's what I'm telling. That's why I'm asking you guys.
Yeah,
and I don't like
Girls
to break-
blew his head up, so he thought like, oh shit, hell yeah.
I'm not gonna break somebody's ego because that's just not me.
Unlike her.
I'm
But-
nice to them. I just don't ever talk to them again.
Yeah, but if you get up and walk, like if you're about to have sex with a guy, and you tell him, "Oh no, this is not going to happen because like they're going to know why," and you're like,
that's
shit.
how guys get.
If a guy pulls his dick out and you're like, "No, I'm good,"
I just said,
the guy's going to fucking know why. So he's going to, all right.
But I mean, I've had made that excuse one time, like, oh shit, I gotta go. Well, but then I wouldn't. But this is the thing, I would kind of like.
She's like, okay, hold on.
No,
I me. Let's go in your thighs.
We at least would do a little bit.
Hey,
I
hope we got a good camera angle on her because her facial expressions are fucking killing me.
We love it. That's what we're here for.
She's
okay.
like, so sad.
So, is there anything to help the guys that are like that? Just the dominance.
Yeah, I
Do
mean,
the pills really work?
The what?
Dick pills don't work.
No.
Okay.
Yeah. And for the any
She's like, oh shit, all right, I'll stop ordering for her.
But there is
I'll cut off the
actually,
subscription. It's not
I
worth
would
it.
never.
however, you can enlarge the size of your penis.
Really?
That is 100% doable. I've done it.
By,
It's 100%
like,
doable.
Oh yeah,
Or
I read
like-
it on your Instagram.
There's a couple of different ways to do it. Yeah. There's a couple like this.
Like kind of like how
Stretching and weights, like it's you can. There's
Weights?
two things you can do. You can stretch like the ligaments that attach your penile shaft to your pubic bone. Those can get stretched, which cause because half your penis is actually inside of you. So if you stretch those ligaments, more of it can actually come out.
Okay, because
And then you can also actually through kind of like bodybuilding,
like weightlifting?
micro tears on the shaft. Not to like nothing irreparable damage, but like slowly over time you can start to like
because one of our guests said
the girth
that
and the length.
one of our guests said that the penis pumps or something like that does that or helps.
Yeah, that
with
works.
that.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Those penis pumps tend to work for girth more than length. Yeah, but it's 100% works.
So it's kind of like the same concept as if like girls. I've seen a lady that was promoting like the Kegel stuff, but it was like coochie weights or something like that.
Coochie weight.
To tighten.
Yeah, but she was actually.
I mean, I've heard of like holding the
had,
balls
like,
on the inside.
Yeah.
So
Is that
she
what you're
would
talking
have
about?
something,
Or
but have like a weight attached to it, and she was just like letting it dangle. Like
interesting.
I can grip it like this, and she was just like had this whole like setup where.
I mean,
she
it's
was
all a
trying to
muscle,
promote
so I
it.
mean, I can understand the situation.
But if that's the same,
that's interesting.
If that's the same
Totally works.
concept,
Think of it more like you ever see those? I don't know what that. It's an African tribe. They're like I think they're from Myanmar. The girls with the rings around their
Yeah.
neck.
Yeah, just stretch
Like,
their neck.
Think of it like that,
Longer than this.
but without rings.
That's a good metaphor.
That's kind of what penis enlargement is actually like.
So-
It's not a pill that happens like in a day. It's like 6 months, 12
So, I mean,
months of effort.
I'm like,
How
all
would
head
you
and
stretch it
shoulders,
without
I need
like actually
that shit.
putting like a weight or something or fucking?
Without damaging it,
Yeah,
or like
I mean,
well, you just
I don't get the logic behind
you've
it.
got to be careful with it. You can literally do it with like weights.
Okay, so
We're not talking like a dumbbell. We're talking like
I'm like, what the fuck is going on?
half a pound, like like very slow incremental stuff. That is how you do it. Yeah.
I have a question for you. So, being that you were in the porn industry, have you came across males that had that little switch?
I'm like, what the little switch? What are you talking about?
You mean the robo dick?
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Yeah. and
Oh
then-
no,
okay,
remember I
so-
told you about that the mafia dude. Yeah.
So I'm just wondering, like, how does that all?
I'm competing against these motherfuckers.
Oh shit.
That's like a real
I want to
thing.
know.
So the robo dick is
Oh, here we go.
is a surgery that dudes can get where they kind of like hollow out your penile shaft
Yeah.
and replace it with an inflatable tube.
And they hit a switch.
and then there's like a switch or a button or
I told
something
you. I told
somewhere else. It's either in their hip or in their testicle. I don't know where they put it.
I feel
But
like it's like somewhere by the.
think of it. Remember those old Nike pumps where you can pump
like
like
Insta pumps or the
Kinda
Reebok
like
pumps.
that.
Yeah.
So how do they deflate that?
There's a button for that.
press the button and it
And
goes
it-
down again.
No, that's what I told you. Remember?
It's like
There,
hydraulics.
off the subject, but there's a mafia guy, Paul Castellano. He had that implanted in him, and he had a switch on his shit, and he would do that.
You push the button or no?
Huh? I don't know about all that, but I just know it. He
Wow.
was
And
you
men
flip
in
a
the-
switch
men
and
in
it
the
would
industry,
get bigger,
like, have
and
they?
then flip a switch
No,
and get
this-
hard.
I think I know.
That's why I was like, "What the
I
fuck?"
knew
All right,
of-
cool. Her face kills him.
I knew like 3 guys in LA that had that. But they were typically the older, like dudes in there, like
Yeah,
40
that's how he
plus.
was. He was older. He was like 50, 60 or something like
Yeah,
that.
because what ends up happening, right? So it's kind of a slippery slope because dudes will take like Viagra or Cialis like every day. Like so they're in their they get in the industry in their 20s, right? They're hitting Viagra. They're doing 7 scenes a week. They're hitting Viagra every day.
Damn, 7
Then in like 6 months time, Viagra stops working.
Yeah, they have to
So
find
then-
something different.
Then they have to
They build a tolerance to it.
they do.
Oh, okay.
Then they have to go for the needle, which is a thing called Cavajack.
Actual needle in.
A fucking syringe injected into the penile shaft which forces an erection.
And we're
for like
here.
3 hours.
Okay.
I love this
Super
medical
bad.
shit because I am in the medical field.
Right.
Okay.
And then that stops working after
hell no.
6 to 12 months as well.
See, I would be pissed off getting a needle in my shit and it stops working. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, this shit
and
better
that's
work
what,
for life.
That's when they. And if this is their only profession,
Yeah.
got to pay the fucking
You're
bills.
fine.
So then they have to go down the route of getting the robo dick.
God damn it.
Shit. Okay, so do you recommend for guys to
Get the robo dick?
This is where you're gonna be.
No, I'm saying like
you cowboy.
no. Is it good or bad that the guys use like Cialis and Viagra? Or something?
I actually recommend against it, honestly.
Against it?
Yeah, I recommend guys against it. I mean,
Do you recommend against it like how you said everybody does it every day or
yeah, I mean, it's okay. If you want to use it like once in a blue moon, it's fine. Go
What
right
about
ahead.
the pills at the gas station? Is
Yeah,
that
like
the same
that
shit?
rhino shit.
They're basically just like L-arginine. That's really all. That's the only in those gas station pills. That's about the only active ingredient in them. It's a complete ripoff.
yeah.
Oh,
It's like one pill for like I don't know how many fucking.
shit, it's like $30.
Well,
Complete
yeah, 'cause
honesty,
I had one
I
guy-
took one of those and it made me throw up.
Really?
Yeah.
I had. Well, this
I
is
got
why-
sick and I couldn't even fuck. I was like in the room like "Bleh." Like so it like ruined the night. I was
can't
like,
hear it, but I
didn't even go
can.
pick the chick up. I was like, nah, I'm sick. Like so,
But to answer your question, I advise guys to not get dependent and rely upon something like Viagra because there's so many other things you can do to fix that problem before you would need to go to that. Right? Like until like get your blood flow on point, get your cardiovascular health on point. Like,
Yeah.
because if you fix these things, it'll fix a whole bunch of other stuff. Like
Yeah.
you'll get every other aspect of your
you
life.
actually
better.
get healthier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's if you're fixing your rather than like think of it like a Band-Aid solution.
Yeah.
Go
Like
to the actual
Cialis
root,
would be the
Yeah,
Band-Aid.
go to the actual root cause. It's like
Yeah.
the analogy is like, okay, I've got a stone I've got like a pebble in my shoe, and my foot's hurting because I've got this pebble in my shoe. So I'm going to take an aspirin
Yeah.
Okay.
Take your shoe
instead
off
of taking a
and
fucking shoe off
Yeah,
and get
yeah,
rid of the
yeah.
stone.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know, I look at it like, what's the root cause of the problem the guy's having? Let's just fix that.
Yeah.
And then you can keep fucking until you're 80.
Okay.
If you keep cultivate these good habits, great. Then you don't have to worry about it.
So what do you say about guys that like have to per se get high or get tipsy or drunk just to last a little bit longer in bed?
Again, you can fix that very, very easily. Like,
Okay.
Lasting longer isn't that difficult.
What do you
There's
think?
a
What do
whole
you
bunch
think's
of
the
tricks,
main
but
thing that stops a guy from lasting longer?
Is it mental?
It can either be he's super excited and it's a mental thing because he's just maybe he
Like he don't get it enough.
he doesn't get it enough.
So right when he gets, it, he's like, "Oh shit!"
yeah, like it's a once in a blue moon thing, and he's like, "Oh fuck, bang."
Yeah.
But typically, if it's not that kind of rare occurrence, then it's a physical thing which has to do with an imbalance in their pelvic floor, and it causes the pelvic floor to kind of give the short version. It's too tight, and is that because like the orgasm is like a tension response of the muscles down there, right? So when your muscles are all tight and tense like that all the time, it's much quicker for you to pop. So that's the now if dudes can't orgasm, then you do the reverse of that. It's like so it's the same kind of like understanding the underlying physiology of your Johnson helps you to solve all these problems. I'm like a dick doctor.
That's why we got him here,
Love
man.
it.
Okay, so for the ladies, do you feel like since everybody's single, is coming across guys that don't give you good sex? Is that kind of more why you want to pertain using less of your body counts and stop just fucking with random dudes like nowadays? Just because like is performance having to do why like you're not selecting a mate also?
I think for me, on my end, I have to have like a certain connection, and I feel like a lot of the males these days, they're not that well sociably. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's just like my thing is like you feed my mind with some good knowledge, I'm gonna be all about it. You know what I mean? Or if there's something other than just sex, then I'm gonna be like, you know what I mean?
It's
But
a vibe.
yeah, because we're at this
She
time.
said it's a vibe.
Yeah,
God
you
damn
have
it,
to have
that
a
word.
vibe.
It is.
I know, I
it is.
Everything's a vibe now. It's just,
No, because it is. Like, you're not going to force something with somebody that doesn't
No, yeah.
want to talk or doesn't have a conversation with you. Like, They can't even hold a conversation because honestly, nowadays people don't have
That social
nothing.
contact.
They
Yeah.
have nothing in their.
Well, I
brain.
mean,
Like, they
nowadays it's just strictly what was it, hookup culture. You said what you said? Yeah, hookup
see,
culture.
Like, no,
Like
There has to be something
Yeah.
more to that.
yeah.
And to me, I feel like if you don't got it, it's not going to last long.
Yeah.
And I don't want to waste my time
Mm-hmm.
on giving you my energy, giving you my body. If it's just going to be like,
so, why don't you
something-
give him Sterling's book and be like, here, read this, then
well,
come
now
back
that
to me.
I know,
But if he still can't talk, he should have a lot.
You could
Trying to help you out. They're gonna get this
tell
book
him-
sold, you know.
Tell him to read books. You could do all of that, but if they're not willing to put in the work, then
Yeah.
I like one of the best.
So socially awkward kind of kills it for you.
Yeah, I think that kills it for basically
Yeah,
any
yeah.
woman. I think if a guy's completely socially awkward and doesn't know how to hold a conversation.
I like nerdy guys, and nerdy guys are
You do
really
love the
awkward
nerds.
as
Interesting.
Really?
This is true.
Yeah.
Awkwardness that the subjects that they have to talk about to even make conversation are awkward? Or they
Like
don't
what?
talk
What do you classify as nerdy?
nerdy.
Yeah.
Just when they
Like someone that just plays video games all day, or
not
like
just video games,
okay.
just like intellectually, or just like anime, or
like
just
someone that knows a lot, or like I need a good description because a lot of girls do that nerdy stuff and it's like I don't get it.
Not the coolest guy on the.
No, yeah.
Yeah,
They,
okay.
they don't have the swag. That'll be
I
like,
get
"Oh,
you.
cook
So
like,
they're not the alpha of the group. Like,
Yeah.
Okay.
So you like a beta male then? So that's what I don't understand. Because if you like the nerdy guy, but you want a guy to take control, that's kind of two different aspects. Because most nerdy guys aren't going to take control.
In the sheets, a
Yeah.
nerd on the sheets
Yeah.
and a freaking.
Yeah, just like how you guys do.
A nerd on
You
the-
guys
nerd
do
on the
what? What?
streets.
I was like, wait a minute, what?
But then when you guys are behind closed doors, it's a different thing.
Yeah, dudes can be that way. Like I was a complete fucking nerd, but I was just like
Dominant in the bedroom.
obsessed with sex. And
that made you dominant?
I think a lot of dudes who are nerdy, if they get a girlfriend, they're like you. They're
Yeah.
about it.
I mean, I
Because
get that, but
they've hadn't had sex for like 3-4 years.
I get that, but that wouldn't make them dominant.
But at least if they're enthusiastic,
Yeah.
they're gonna at least get better.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know, maybe they don't start off dominant. But
Yeah.
they're probably gonna figure out her buttons along
So
the
pretty
way.
much, pretty much, how you're saying is that like any guy can at least take all your steps and all your books, and they can actually just be better.
Yeah,
they can
because
come out better in the
sex
bedroom.
is a skill.
Yeah,
It's
true.
like anything else, like learning mechanics. It's like it's
Yeah.
it's just knowing the little technical.
So would you say some men have it and some men don't?
Okay, well it's part art, part science, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because I can teach you like the technical aspects of it too, but I also try to teach you the underlying like swag,
Yeah.
vibe, for want of a better word, right? Okay, here's how you do the thing. Now here's how you do it.
Okay, so if let's say a guy starts off at a 0 on a scale of 0 on a sexual experience, if he went through your course, read your books, where do you think he would be at?
Minimum.
Dude, I've had
Like bare minimum.
I've had I had one really good example testimonial. I had this kid who's had like he had a body count of 2 before he met this chick, and she thought he'd had sex with at least 20 women. So that gives you just to get
Yeah.
That's just to give because she guessed his body. She was like, because
there's a lot of-
he texted me this right. He's like, yo, dude, this rocked. But he was like, she asked how many women I've been with, and I said guess, and she guessed 20.
Oh, okay.
But this kid had only been with like 2 chicks.
Yeah, I mean, because the reason I'm asking because there's a lot of self-proclaimed self-help books out there and shit that guarantees help guys out and all that shit. And 9 times out of 10, the shit don't work. So that's why I was asking. Like,
Yeah. I mean, yeah, with my stuff is a bit easier because it's like I said,
It's for
do
dummies.
this, do
Yeah,
that,
yeah.
right? That's a bit better than like believe in yourself.
Yeah,
you know.
You got something? You gonna say something about it?
Oh
no, it's just her facial expression. She has those facial expressions where you're just like, what were you gonna say? She's like, no, I'll just make it a face.
It's like how you were saying, like, you know how nerdy guys usually want to learn more, and they watch and they learn and they learn.
They get autistic about
yes.
something.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, so therefore they absorb a lot, and then
Like the
it just-
ADD kicks
They
in,
just
and they're like,
needed
I have
somebody
to learn
practice
this.
on.
Yes, that.
Bingo. Yeah.
So what do you recommend?
But
for
are
that?
you willing to let them practice? That's what I'm saying. Like, because
have.
before you said you wouldn't stick around.
No,
I
no,
have.
no. I said if the penis is just.
So she is based on size, and
Yeah.
you just ain't there.
Yeah.
Then hey, I get you. With her,
But
is
if it's a good size, and why am I? anyways, if it's a
You did
good
this,
size,
by the way.
Yeah, she said if it's a big size, you know what I'm saying, we can talk.
you know.
Oh no, go ahead.
I said if it's a good size and then like we vibe, like
God damn it.
we could like there has to be a connection. There has to be a connection. Any type of way, it has to be a connection.
Yeah.
Because if you have a big penis and we just
Don't know how to do shit with it.
it's just if you're dry, I can't. I can't.
I think
The
another thing of
coochie
what
gets
you're
wetter
saying
when
with
you're
the
like
nerds.
when you
They make
get
lube
mad.
for that shit.
Yeah,
I
connect.
think the other thing
Nah.
she's saying with the nerds is nerds like to read and absorb information where these guys I think they know it all or
Yeah.
that they already got it
Or
or
like,
they
oh,
don't
I'm a
care.
player.
So
It's enough
you're
for them sexually.
you're more willing to take the guy who's willing to learn
Yeah.
Step forward.
over the guy who thinks he knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
So one time I took this guy's
Uh-oh.
virginity, right? He was like 6'4", and look, I'm like 5'3" on a good day,
Yeah.
and I was just like, no.
Get tired of all these tall ass guys.
It was I going through the motion the first time I was like, oh my god, it's just like he's trying to hump me like a dolphin. I'm just like, no, just like hold on, like and I just remember I remember this so clearly. Like I was on top and it was just like, okay, just relax. Like let me do it. If it's somebody that wants to learn, like I'm willing.
So you don't want the overexcited guy. You want the guy who'll chill back and.
Well, yeah, I think I feel like I have a lot more dominance. When I was with a girl, I like to be the more dominant type.
But when you're with a man, you want to be dominated.
Yes, and there's a fine line. You can't just be bullshitting your way with me because
You'll know.
yeah, and then I'll call you out on it.
So you'll call them out on their bullshit. She'll call them out on their dick size. All right.
Yeah. No, not dick size. No,
No, I said she will.
no, I wouldn't do that to somebody. But
I didn't call him out. I just walked off.
That's worse. That's worse.
Man. Okay, so in the industry, is it that scarce of men? Like,
Yeah, the male talent, you'd be surprised. Like the male talent pool across all of the United States for like active working male porn stars is less than like 50 dudes.
man, so 50 guys are being with all these.
Think about the number of active women is probably like close to 1,000.
Okay.
So it's the same 50 dudes roughly having sex with all of them. So the interesting thing is, if you took a girl who was like let's say you have a girl who's a professional porn star, she gets into porn at 18, right? And she let's pretend she only has sex with the dude she's cast with in porn. Her actual body count is probably only going to be like 30.
Okay.
Which is a lot less than some 18-year-old girls in Miami these days.
Yeah.
Way less. So that's
and they're just doing it for the free.
yeah, and it's just it's the same people again and again and again and again.
Okay. So I don't know how deep you want to get into the secrets of porn.
Go
But-
deep, as
I
deep
would
as you like.
love it. Let's go.
Deep-
Can we let the viewers know, especially the ladies, on the length of it? Is there multiple edits, or is it if you get a 60-minute porn and they're lasting the whole 60 minutes? Is it the whole 60?
Okay, so like 30-minute porno movie, finished product, right? If it's a porno which has like dialogue and some kind of
Like a
storyline,
script.
yeah, like a script. Those are my favorite ones. I like doing that. Right? I like getting into
Like
a character.
scripted shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That will probably take at least 6 hours, probably 8 hours
Whoa,
to shoot
shit.
that day.
Damn.
So there's
Make it-
multiple cuts. There's
Yeah,
multiple-
well, okay, but the fun part is let's say it edits down to a 30-minute video. 20 of that is probably the sex scene. The sex itself, we'll probably shoot that in 60 to 90 minutes max, and that includes like, so we actually have sex twice because we do what we call we do the stills, like the photography first, where we kind of like map out what we're gonna do when the camera rolls, and so but we just like do it like in different poses or whatever, and you get the snaps, right?
I like that.
Yeah, that's my I'm taking a photo pose. So then we get dressed again, and then we have
Actually
sex
shoot.
for real with the camera rolling,
Okay.
and we kind of copy what we were doing in the photos, right? And that can take, to get like 20, 30, we always want to get like at least 30 minutes of usable footage. Yeah, we're probably fucking for like 60 minutes. to get that 30 minutes.
Yeah.
That includes like breaks for water and what, changing the battery on the camera. You know, like little like
So straight
crap
through
like
actual. If you just combine the actual sex, how long is the actual sexual experience?
Yeah, probably 60 to 90 minutes.
Do you guys ever do bloopers?
That's without.
I mean, yeah.
Is that without?
Yeah, so I have to be hard for like minimum an hour. Minimum. Yeah.
And you do that naturally, like just engaged.
I mean, I stay fit and I eat well. Like I do a whole bunch of stuff to maintain that, especially like over 30 years of age. I'm not 18 anymore. But yeah, that's the requirement.
And your books touch on that.
Yeah, I could definitely help guys last that long. Yeah. And because a large part of that is blood flow too. Like to be able to keep it like there the whole time, you need to have a good cardiovascular system. You need to be healthy.
On your part, do you see, is there better experience or better performance between older girl or a younger girl?
The MILFs are way better.
Really?
The MILFs are 1,000% better.
Okay.
1,000%.
Okay.
Yeah, hands down. And it's partly like, okay, they know what they're doing because they've got a bit more experience than the younger chick, but it's also the attitude. The attitude is better because the MILF performers tend to be more like a genuine nymphomaniac. Younger girls tend to be a bit more of a diva.
Well, because they say with the girls, they get in their sexual like rage or whatever you want to call it, like late in their 30s.
I don't necessarily believe that. I don't think there's really any basis. I think that's just something people say.
Yeah, that's why I said some people say.
Yeah, but the in porn, the girls that either if she's a MILF performer, right? She's either gotten into porn when she's in her 30s, or she's been in it since she was 18 and she's now in her 30s. So she's either been in it long enough and she loves it, so she's sticking around. So she's probably an nymphomaniac. Or, and this is the typical route, a lot of girls from like the swinging scene get into it in their 30s, like they were a swinger or whatever, so they're already a very sexually charged woman. And they're like, you know what, I'm going to go do this finally. This is a fantasy of mine. And she gets to explore all these different fantasies of hers. So the MILFs tend to be way more fun to work with. And unfortunately, because I'm the dad, I don't get to work with them very often. They get some like scrawny, 12-year-old looking boy.
And you said you literally find out that like the day of the shoot?
I find out who I'm shooting with the night, but like 10 p.m. the night before.
So you're like, oh fuck, I'm the dad again.
Yeah, basically. So I'll know roughly, like I'll know what studio I'm shooting for. Like, okay, this week it's like Brazzers, Evil Angel, Kink, whatever. But I won't have a clue what the script is or who I'm shooting with, and typically until like the day before.
Okay.
Yeah.
To brush up on this real quick, since like we know you travel, you're always overseas and stuff all the time.
Too much.
Is there a different sexual experience with women, Eastern women and Western women? Saying that like, our Western, like we're more exposed to media, like it's more
untraditional over here.
Yeah, untraditional over here.
It's a lot easier to get laid in like America or America, England, Australia. It's like a layup. It's way easier to get laid in these countries because women tend to be a lot more like liberal with sex, right? Okay. Eastern Europe, you gotta work a little harder. Yeah, you gotta work a bit harder, a bit more traditional. You gotta work a bit harder to get a woman's panties in Eastern Europe.
Okay.
But it's also worth it because they're very, very loyal.
So how much do you think your accent helps?
In America, not at all.
No,
really.
My accent has never helped me. In
America. I would think the opposite.
You know why I think it is? Because the two places I've lived has been LA and Miami, full of Latinas.
Yeah. Oh,
they don't have a clue what in Australia.
I get you.
They can't tell.
The
same reason I can't tell if your accent is Mexican or Argentinian or
Cuban or whatever.
I don't have a clue. I don't speak Spanish.
Yeah. Okay.
It's the same way that she can't tell if I'm English or Australian or New Zealand or Can't tell. So for me,
but like the Eastern, they can actually tell. Like, for the most part,
my accent does very, very well in England. Super well in England.
Yeah.
It slays, but like American accents do super well in Australia.
Yeah, well,
really?
Let's try.
Yeah, incredible. Like black dudes with American accents in Australia just destroy.
Oh shit!
Where I'm from,
so like Idris Elba, like
what was that?
Like
Idris Elba?
Yeah, Idris Elba.
Yeah, he'd crush. He would crush it. So I'm from the West Coast. I'm from a town called Perth, like a big city called Perth. We used to get these like American Navy ships pull into port every 6 months, and we'd hit the bars with my boys every weekend, and if we knew the Navy ship was in town, we just wouldn't go out. We're like,
they're gonna kill it.
All these sailors are gonna roll in with their goddamn accents and just clean up. I'm like, that's my point. Stay home.
Okay.
Well, we'll go out next weekend.
Yeah.
Okay, I can see that.
Yeah, but to answer your question, like, you do, it's like, because I've obviously been in a few different places, so like, Latin American women are very different experience to like American, like, you know, Western women, we'll just label that generally, versus like Eastern European women. They're very distinctive, different kind of experiences. How? So Latin American women tend to be extremely sexual in the way of like Latin American women are, I would say, are as liberal as Western women when it comes to sex. However, they are a lot more traditional in their role in the relationship. They're a lot more submissive, and a lot more, say, doting on their partner. They'll do the little things to try and keep the guy around.
They'll do the extra stuff.
They'll go the extra mile, right? They're like
the little thing the little things that count.
Yeah, like okay, like I go out to do some work, I come back and she's cleaned the house. Yeah, you know, or she's cooking food or whatever, or I'm sitting there working and she's giving me a back massage, with that unprompted, you know. And Eastern European women are exactly like that as well, but they are a lot less promiscuous.
Okay,
so that is kind of like the difference.
So the Latinas kind of have still a little bit promiscuous, flirtatious type.
Yeah.
Okay,
but more traditional.
I found Latinas to be super sexual. Like they're very confident in this. They're very flirtatious, and they know how to turn a man on. Is my experience. Like Brazilians, Colombians, Argentinians,
Dominicans, all that stuff.
Yeah, they know how to turn a guy on. They know how to use their sexual energy in a really.
So you would say like that background would be like your best experience, or?
Yeah, I'd probably say like the most fun. That's okay. Yeah.
So outside of that, like, would you say you could find that type of experience in Miami?
You can, but they're kind of tainted with Western culture and like the entitlement that tends to come along.
You think social media played a part in that?
Just being in America plays a role. Just because the worst thing a dude could do, if like you know, like passport bros.
Yeah,
like,
that's what I was asking about.
Who go overseas to find like wife material. The stupidest thing a passport bro can do is bring her back to America.
Yeah.
Keep her over there.
Yeah.
Okay. Because
you bring her back, you expose her to all that shit. You're like, oh shit.
In a couple of years, she's gonna be like every other girl in Miami. She ain't. The culture's gonna influence her.
And way more than you can.
Well, and depends what kind of guy you are. But you can't isolate her enough. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you would, you could have a more strong influence than American culture over a woman if you kind of isolated her in a way.
Like
but you ain't you aren't really gonna be able to do that anymore.
That's true. So I knew a guy that would get his mail order brides from Thailand. The first one he brought back, no, straight up. The first one he got back, and then I don't know if she just wasn't too knowledgeable, but he ditched her. Then he pulled another one, and that one he brought back.
No refunds.
Right?
Give me the green card back. We're
then
done.
she started catching an attitude with him. She started taking
I'm sending you back.
control, and he wanted a kid. You know what I mean? And he was just like, when I was living with them, and then they started like going at it because she started making her own way. She started, you know, not really following along what he was wanting. Or
getting more Americanized.
Had her own like shit she wanted to do, and then he was just like pissed. And I could
he invested into a situation
I was like
that
waiting for him to bring another one back, and I was like, oh god, I felt so bad for him.
I think they're only allowed to do it a couple of times.
Really?
Like fixing papers for them and bringing them.
Yeah.
Well, as far as I know, he's had the two.
That's crazy.
That's the max.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
He's out of options. That's it.
Yeah.
So
like, he could go to over there.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like he should, like these guys should go. Like, I mean, not everyone can do that. Not everyone has that job flexibility. But if they have it, you might as well exercise that. Go over there, live like a king with economic arbitrage of the US dollar.
Especially if you're able to make the money while you're over there, making
American
money
dollars,
over there. Yeah.
Living in
you
Colombia,
really live like a fucking king.
Living in Thailand, you gotta live like a king.
Just to let you guys.
Just watch out for the lady boys.
I don't know how many times you guys have gone like, because they were talking about how people from the U.S. Men from the U.S. go to other countries to find a wife.
Yeah, that's what we're talking about, the passport bros. Yeah.
No, they're not. I don't know how many times have they gone to other countries, to the actual places where there's actual traditional women. They're not as traditional as they think they are.
I think that would probably. It depends on the location.
In comparison to an American woman, there will be more.
Yeah, a lot more.
Now, traditional, like a real traditional woman.
Well, yeah, that's what you said. If you bring them back over here, then they're going to get Americanized. I'm like, well, fuck you. I'm an independent woman.
But a real traditional woman is a virgin. That's the original traditional woman. Yeah. That's the original one, right?
Let's not get into that.
No, I'm just saying.
We said, we keep it real around here, so we are 100% on.
So by comparison to like the 1950s, I mean my grandparents grew up. No women today are traditional. Yeah. By that comparison, right?
I know, but
because they literally stayed home and they were home housewives.
Can you build me a house? Can you change the tire that just went off the road?
Yeah, exactly.
Can you do that? No, because men are going to call AAA. They're going to pay somebody else to do it for
Well, that
them.
depends on the
That
type of
depends on the guy you talk to.
Because the dude that's his hands on, like, nah, I'm changing my girl's tire. I'm doing all that stuff. Like
if you deal with a beta guy or whatever.
No, but I'm gonna pay for it though. I'm gonna buy it. I'm gonna make the money to be able to buy it.
The traditional man.
Well, no, because most men that
economics from the back in the day, they had to.
If I'm working to support that lifestyle, I can't leave work to do it. To help you with your tire, but I'm gonna make sure you get your tire fixed while I make my money.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, don't ask for tradition. You're not traditional. So, like,
I mean, there's different ways to go about that. Yeah, because like,
I'm still taking care of the situation. I got the situation solved.
In the household, women not being argumentative, being more attentive, submissive, coachable type of thing.
And that's a man making us feel safe. We could all do that. It's just a man making us feel safe.
I would say I think a traditional role of a man is to solve his woman's problems.
Mm-hmm.
You come to me with a problem like my tire, or like
it's solved.
This pipe burst in the house, plumbing's not working. It's the man's job to fix the problem.
Yeah. No matter how he does it, it gets fixed.
Yeah.
No, it'll get
it's his job
tomorrow.
to fix it.
It'll get fixed tomorrow.
Like I said, that's like he said. It depends on what guy you're talking to.
Sounds like you've heard that before.
Yeah, like it seems like you're dealing with procrastinators. You know what I'm saying? Like
tomorrow.
I don't know. It sounded like whoever the ex was. You did a bad job, man.
Yeah.
Gotcha, bitch.
Very bad job.
My dad, it's odd the males that I see.
I got a question.
You need to change your circle.
I got a question for you. How does being in the industry affect your dating life and your expectations sexually?
You know what? My expectations doesn't change my expectations at all. I don't expect like you'd be. Girls in porn aren't actually that good at sex.
Does it change the expectation of the girl?
They're really not. Okay.
Like if they know who you are.
Right. So on my end, it doesn't change really much. I would have thought it would have been. I would have put a lot of women off.
Mm-hmm.
Wasn't the turns out that wasn't the case. If anything,
more interested.
If anything, it made not necessarily interested, but just curious.
Okay.
If anything, that it didn't kind of happen. In terms of expectations on me, I never really feel like there's an expectation to live up to like.
You never ran into a situation like that where they know who you are and they're like, oh,
I mean, they do know who I am. They'll Google me eventually. Like, if they find my IG or whatever, they're gonna Google me.
Yeah.
I guess because it's just a big enough account for them to be like, who's this motherfucker?
Yeah.
But I've never personally felt expectation being like, maybe I'm just. Maybe
just that damn good at it.
I just haven't made a big deal of it enough to kind of put that jinx on myself, I guess.
Okay.
Because you definitely could.
Yeah.
You could totally get jinx yourself.
Get ahead
of
yourself.
Yeah. As a dude, that's a terrible idea.
Yeah.
Okay, but being that you were in the industry, does that make you want to have like an actual relationship, or does it just
like now or when I was in the industry?
Either or. Like when you're in the industry, did you have any sort of? Was it harder for you to be in relationships? At the time, or did you want to be in a relationship while still being in the industry?
I was in a couple of relationships, but was always with girls in the industry.
Okay.
Because it's just way easier to date within the industry.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
When I was in the industry, I had a couple of girlfriends who weren't in the industry.
How long do they typically last?
They within a few months they get super jealous. Mm-hmm. So they couldn't handle that.
Yeah. But in the beginning, they're like, "No, I understand."
Yeah, in the beginning they're cool with it. Yeah. In the beginning they were cool with it, and then it's just like every day I'm going to set and banging someone else. They couldn't. Some women can handle it, and some women just couldn't.
Mm-hmm. So for the men, like you said, you dated women in the industry. How do you mentally? How you're okay with your woman performing?
How do you mentally detach from that situation?
If I'm being honest, it was honestly more for both of us. It was probably more of a situation of just like
it's work.
You just want some companionship in the evening. Like I'm getting fucked
yeah.
during the day.
Yeah.
So it's not about the sex. It's
more
literally
mental,
someone
emotional.
Someone to cuddle.
Okay.
That's really what it was about. And it was, and I always made sure like I was always working more than they were.
I'm getting more than you.
At least like 3 times more than they were.
Yeah.
So like that's kind of how I rationalize it in my mind. Would I do that now? No, I wouldn't do that now.
Yeah.
But at the time, it was like, okay, I'm in this industry. I really just want like to have that little bit of companionship because I was.
So you would say more mental and
way more
emotional.
Way more than like just the intimacy side of things.
Like sexual
at
side
the time, like I just got to America.
Okay.
Like I didn't know anyone here.
Yeah.
So I'm like, it's a bit of a lonely experience to start off with.
But real quick to fill everybody in, like I followed your like your past like a little bit, like looking you up and stuff. At what point did you take a break? I heard that you were doing like a private like escort business like type of thing.
I did that before. I was an escort before I got into porn.
You guys ever meet a male escort?
No.
Now you have.
Can you explain the situation to everybody who doesn't know what that is?
So I would get hired by wealthy businesswomen to entertain them for the evening. And this is back in Australia where that is totally decriminalized.
Yeah.
Oh.
You can't do that. Like,
Okay.
And that could be anywhere from companionship to mental to sexual
it is all of that involved. But basically it would be like the boyfriend experience.
I was just about to say that, like the boyfriend experience.
So I'm whining and dining them, taking out dinner date, and then
listen to their problems,
nice
talk to
hotel
them,
room,
blah, 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 and then
talk,
sex at the end
being
of the
a
night.
good conversationalist, right?
We love that.
Creating a vibe, like all this stuff you've been
The
talking
vibe
about.
you were talking about, that
That's-
vibe word.
That's literally the job.
It's an experience. You're charging for an experience.
Yeah, that's literally.
Every person is.
I'm being paid to make her feel like the most beautiful woman.
Yeah,
in the
yeah,
world. That's my job.
Okay.
To make her feel like the only woman that she is the only woman that exists. Undivided attention on you for an evening. That's what the job was.
Kind of low key like the Pretty Woman experience.
Yeah.
And that's
Basically.
how they tip you well.
Yeah. Yeah, they tip you all right. I my best client.
Or he tips her.
I had this one uber wealthy like Chinese multi-millionaire as one of my she was my best client. She would like fly me out to New Zealand on ski trips and shit.
shit.
Like we did it together. But yeah, that's the kind of shit. And lots of like 5-star like.
So would you
restaurants
say,
and-
did you make more of an income doing that versus porn, or
over the long run, eventually porn was better
because
just
of more
because I got more
views?
or just because I got once I established myself, I was working more. But
Okay.
initially, I took a giant pay cut when I got in the industry for the first time.
Okay.
You're like, okay, I'm getting more sex, but now I'm getting less money.
Yeah, but it was the reason I stopped doing that was basically like, well, one, I wanted to see if I could do porn in the first place. I'd always been curious, and two, it was like it's exhausting. It can be exhausting being like
Emotionally connected to that.
fake emotion, faking that level of connection with a woman, that level of intimacy and connection.
Right.
So faking it can be very draining.
During that escort experience you had, were you in any relationships? And
Yeah.
if it did, how did it affect that? Because I could assume it'd be really draining trying to be everybody's dream guy.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't go as far as having the dream guy. Thank you.
Well, I mean, the emotional experience, all that, trying to be everything they need. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
'cause that's what they're paying for. So,
you know what? It was the couple of girlfriends I had during that period. They were actually totally fine with it. Yeah.
but how was it on you though?
That was the good part. Like they were kind of like my piece. You know, like they'd recharge me. So it actually worked out way better.
Well, okay, because now I can understand the dynamic. Because when you're doing the escorts, you're doing all that for them.
I'm giving my all.
Yeah,
to
and
them.
then when you're in a relationship, they're actually giving to you.
Yeah.
You're getting some respect. Yeah,
Exactly.
Okay. And then, how recently or not? I seen you actually had like a MMA type of like.
Oh, I had my first boxing fight.
Boxing fight?
Amateur
boxing?
white collar amateur
How did that go?
boxing match. Oh,
What got you into it?
Unanimous win.
Okay.
We did it right.
What got you into that?
That was
You just wanted to test your shit, or what?
that was through a business organization I'm involved in, and then it was just an event that came up, and I'd gotten into boxing like a couple of years ago, and I'd never had a chance to do a fight yet, and I got into fighting so that I could make sure that when I eventually have a son,
Yeah,
that
you
he
teach
gets
him.
into fucking fighting.
Okay.
Because I think it pissed me off. Turns out My dad used to like box in the Australian Army, like competitively.
Okay.
Oh, really?
Wow.
Never told me this. Never taught me or my brother how to
Ain't you
fight.
surprised when you never? Yeah.
Never taught us how to
How
fight.
did you find out?
Because I started boxing, and I was like, "Hey, Dad, I've started boxing."
Oh,
He's
okay.
like,
I know how to do
I
that.
used to compete for the army. In the army.
My whole life, you didn't tell me this shit. Like
That pissed me off.
you know how many fights I've been in, and you could have shown me some shit. Like
So for me, it was like, okay, well, I don't want to make that mistake with my kid.
Yeah,
When I eventually have a kid,
Yeah.
I don't want that pattern to repeat itself. I want him
Okay,
to
okay.
learn how to fight early on. Okay, but if I have to tell my son, okay, get in the ring,
Yeah.
well, Dad better have gotten in the ring first.
Yeah.
So for me, that was very important that I
Like
do
you
that.
wouldn't tell your kid to do something you didn't do.
Yeah, so it was super important for me that I did that. So that's why I did that. When was that? November.
Okay,
Was
yeah.
it,
that's
was it straight
recently.
boxing or was it like kickboxing?
Straight
or
boxing.
MMA?
No, I
Straight
did
yeah.
straight boxing.
Yeah, straight boxing.
Yeah, but we did it because it was there was like 20 fights that night, and there was some kickboxers, some MMA. So we did it in an octagon.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
So it was a boxing match in
In
an
a-
octagon,
in
like
an
in a
MMA
cage,
scenario.
in a cage. So like he couldn't run away.
How long did you train for?
2 months.
2 months.
Yeah, a 2-month fight camp in Marbella.
And it was unanimous on your side.
Yeah.
Oh, shit, that's nice.
Yeah, unanimous.
Yeah, I seen the photo.
You adapted quick.
Yeah, my coach it was kind of like a slap in the face. After I won, my coach got up and was like, when Stirling came to my bay, he couldn't fight.
You're
I'm
like, son of a
thanks."
bitch.
At all.
You couldn't say it a little nicer, like.
Was I that bad? Jesus.
That's so funny. I love that you think about like when you have kids, you want to pass that down. So I used to be in a very abusive relationship, and I feel like nowadays too, like kids gotta learn how to hold their own, right?
Yeah.
So that's why I got myself and my children into jiu-jitsu. Well, we were with a dojo that did like Filipino stick fighting,
Like a mixed martial arts type of thing.
Yeah, and then it was so like empowering because at the time it was before the first like COVID lockdown. At the time, I was going at it for months. I was doing both Filipino stick fighting and jiu-jitsu, and I was rolling with only guys, like big dudes, and it was just me, my sensei's fiance, and his niece.
And you're able to actually hold your own.
Hell yeah!
So it felt empowering for you.
Yeah, it was awesome. And then I'm like trying to tell my kids like, hey, dude, like you got to learn how to do these things,
Like, not
especially
not necessarily go out there and whoop someone's ass, but you got to know how to defend yourself.
right,
Yeah.
exactly. And it's also too because I'm like I have a daughter,
Yeah.
and you know how
Yeah.
all these kids are getting snatched up. I was like, you need to learn how to be able
Get
to
out of the
maneuver,
situation.
maneuver yourself out of these situations just to protect yourself. And I'm not gonna let my kids being sitting ducks.
Yeah.
So,
Good.
but then I get too rowdy because I'll be the mom that would like to roll with them. I'm like, come on, like I try to like.
Sitting there whooping the kid's ass. He's like, chill. Like, what the hell?
No, well, back in the day, my son used to like to cheap shot me. Right? He thought it was funny. My oldest.
Sneaker. And
No, he's like, oh yeah, bat. Like he would try to get me, and I tell him like, stop, dude.
you're telling
Stop.
him what to do. He's sleeper
And-
hole. Go to sleep.
No, I would seriously sweep him and like wrap him up, and then he would just turn around and he's like, Mom. And-
Tapping out.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, okay. Like, and then still now he's like taller than me. I'm like, I don't care how tall you are. I can still whoop your ass, you know? And we can do the damn thing. Like, but yeah, no, it's fun to do it as like a parent
Yeah.
with your kid, you know? So, I don't know.
I can't wait to punch my kid in the face.
Suck it up.
So you have no kids?
Bam. Not yet. No.
Yeah. Okay, I'm on your side of the spectrum. I don't have no kids either. Yeah.
All right. So, lastly, ladies, you guys have any questions for us, or
Anything you were wondering about the male mind frame? Anything that you need to get out, ask that you were questioning or anything?
What was the most surprising thing you've heard today?
Yeah, that's a good question.
what'd you learn?
Yeah.
Well, that thing with the, what was it?
The robot thing?
Yeah.
Oh, Robodick.
Yeah.
So, out of this
glad
whole
that-
conversation, how we-
conversation.
That's what you
It's
took
like,
away.
damn, okay, look, you got a small dick. I know what can fix that.
No, I mean like something new. Like, something
No, it's not new because it's been around for a while.
Well, I didn't know about it.
Okay.
Look, there's no wrong answers. That was.
Do you have anything?
I mean, it's kind of cool that there's a source where, how you said, your books that you sell or your ebooks, that it's kind of nice to see there's a source, because I think all men
Should kind of have like a
need help.
guideline.
I think if they read and they learn, I think all men would be better.
Really, I'm
Sexually.
actually secretly helping women.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why
That's what I'm saying.
Honestly.
You like that.
I actually really love that. Like, I can see myself referring people because.
But it's good that
I've
you
had
actually
that happen.
you actually made a system to where it's literally
helping both.
it's dummy proof. You know what I mean? Like you
As-
made
as,
it for
as much as I can.
Yeah.
As much as I can make it.
because
dumb-proof.
like I said, there's so many things out there for people that like mind fucks them. You know what I mean? Like, oh, that works. Oh, hell yeah, he said it. It works. Or you get a famous person, they'll pay them to do the advertisement. Oh, well, if he's backing it up, it works. I have to get into it and it don't do shit. So, but it's actually good that you actually make something that actually works for people.
Like you took time to really make sure you're not.
Yeah, I mean, because you're speaking from experience, so you know what fucking works.
I've got
you know
a very,
what I mean?
very unique
Yeah,
spectrum
Yeah,
of
yeah,
experience in this particular perverted field.
yeah.
So would you sit there and ask the girls what feels good, what doesn't, or you just?
No,
I'm sure over the experience you would know, right?
Yeah, with over a long enough a big enough sample size, you start to see patterns.
Especially being in that industry, you would kind of learn and
you know.
know.
The
And
funny thing is, it's that most of the knowing what will turn a woman on
came
and
from
stuff,
your relationships.
Yeah, it didn't come from the
okay.
porno stuff because the porno stuff is they're acting all the time,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
But at the same time, like a lot more of the technical things I learned in the porno industry because I used to shoot for kink.com a lot.
Oh, okay.
They're like a big BDSM company.
Okay.
So that's where I learned a little bit of like shibari bondage. That's where I learned how to
love that.
how to use like riding crops and how to use floggers
So on a-
and how to use
on a-
Hitachis and
The pillows and all that stuff.
On a percentage wise, what would you say you learn like 60-40, 50-50?
I mean, like all of my stuff with like different toys and all my BDSM experience 100% came from shooting for kink.com. With the one exception of shibari. I learned shibari rope bondage before that. I was into that already. But then all the other all the other tools and toys was 100% learned on set.
Okay.
Yeah, I never had any experience or even was even
like
really
that
curious
like the
about
guy
doing
for the
any of it.
guys like they're lasting longer, the actually growing your penis.
That
and all
stuff came from like that. Basically, all came from before porn. Yeah, all that other stuff came.
So I have a question. So was there ever like a relationship that you had before you started doing any of this where they kind of like turned you out and then you just kind of like got on that path to do all this?
What do you mean by turn you out?
I was gonna say.
Like,
What do you mean by turn them out?
Like how she did with the dude with the small
Yeah.
dick.
Hey, sorry, that's not big enough. Go stretch your dick. Like,
well, yeah, or like if you've let's say had like
You want to say what
Like a bad break.
what got them started?
yeah, like what got you started in this
Yeah.
first? And then if there was somebody that really kind of captured you, like
Triggered it? Like what?
triggered
is
it, yeah.
I mean, it wasn't that triggered me going down the porn route and the escorting route. That was just me being a pervert, really. That wasn't any like
That's a good
particular
way of channeling it.
relationship.
Yeah.
Exactly, right? It's productive.
Because you would
Turned into a very positive force.
you would think it'd be something like that, or like the guy can't get sex, so he joined the porn industry because
Yeah, I
he
mean-
knows he's guaranteed sex.
Yeah, I mean, it was kind of like I looked at it like because I was running a.
I'm gonna get paid to get fucked. Yeah.
Yeah, well, like I was running a business at the time, and I was busting my ass, and I was having like problems with my co-founder, whatever, you know, bumping heads. And I was like, why the fuck am I doing this?
I don't have to put up with this shit.
Yeah, I'm busting my ass. I'm not really gonna make it that much
Yeah.
for the effort I'm putting in. I'm like, what's the end goal? And I just sat down and had a very honest conversation with myself. And it was like, well, I want to make money. Okay, why do I want to make money? If I'm really honest, it's because I want to travel around the world having sex with beautiful women. If I'm being totally honest at the time,
That's
was
awesome.
that's what I wanted. So like, why don't I just cut out the middleman
Is go
and
to
get
porn.
paid to do that instead?
Yeah, makes sense.
And then porn was the obvious answer to that
That's good.
question. So it made
You did a lot of-
lazy way around.
Did you actually do a lot of traveling with the porn industry? Or
Yeah,
was
I went from Australia, shot in Australia, shot in England. Then I went from England
because you're based out, you're originally based out of Australia, right?
Yeah, I'm originally from the West Coast.
See,
when I
us,
was- when I was
us
in
from the West
England-
Coast is over here.
Yeah, England. Then I got flown to Budapest, and I got flown to Prague, and then I eventually made my way out to LA. Yeah, so it took me to a few nice countries.
Okay.
So
Very
then, what
cool.
would you say is your favorite or your typical porno style that you like or category?
Like category?
The two favorite companies I like shooting for the most was
It's not the dad, right?
Kink.com was my favorite because I always got to play the bad guy. Because
I like that.
Kink.com, it's always like blackmail. Like I'm always blackmailing some chick,
Okay.
and then for some reason she's tied up the next minute. That's how I got her.
Okay,
but
okay.
I liked playing that
That
tapping
role.
into that role because it's like I like to think I'm a generally nice guy.
Yeah.
So I get to like pretend to be a sociopath
Something that you're not
for like
in
an
real
afternoon and
Yeah.
play around with that. So it was always working for that company was always great, and then there was one or two other directors I really liked working for who just always give me hilarious roles. Like one of my favorite lines I can still remember. I was a doctor, and she's sitting there in stirrups, and her husband is there with her, and she's having pain during sex. And I go downstairs, I look, and I come back up again, and I say, "It appears that your tiny penis has barely perforated her hymen, so she's in quite a lot of pain."
Look at her, I know that's experience.
Bam. But those kind of roles were just the whole day you're just laughing, and that's what I actually do miss that about porn. Is like it's not even the sex; it's the
funny roles,
fucking around on set and laughing at these stupid scripts all day.
What is the least one that you like to do?
The least favorite one.
My least favorite company. I mean,
or not even company. Least favorite category. Like when you're like, fuck again.
Blowbangs. They're horrible. They're annoying as fuck. Blowbangs. There's like one chick, like 11 dudes, and she's only doing blowjob.
Oh. So you have to actually literally stay hard and wait around for that.
You got to stay. Like, here's the worst part. So
sometimes they're boring.
That's what he's saying.
So here's the coup de grace. So the camera has to like face one way, right? And the camera, the director needs to see one chick and a room full of dudes behind her. So I can't even go to the front and watch her sucking a dick or whatever to get some kind of stimulation. I have to stand at the back of the line and look past a bunch of man ass to get a glimpse of a woman, and then wait my turn to finally get like 2 minutes of a blowjob, and then go back to the end of the queue again. It's awful. It's horrible. Yeah.
See,
wouldn't recommend it.
My thing, like my fear would be like in a group setting, like when the guy comes, like I'm trying to get
out of the way.
Yeah.
I was always the guy you had to get out of the way of.
I mean, that's a good situation.
We like that.
That's a good situation.
I'm like, yo, move. You don't want to stand there.
You be watching them, you're like, how did it got on you, bro? Like, what are you doing?
No, okay, so this is a funny thing. I've seen this one where this girl was like giving this guy head, and he nutted so much that it came out her nose.
What the
and
fuck?
she was still trying to like look cute. I was like, wow.
Well, because they be doing like I've seen like the cream pies, and they be adding shit in there to make it look like the guy came more, right?
The cream pies, like half the time they're actually faked.
Yeah.
Half the time cream pies.
What the hell do they use in that?
Cetaphil.
Oh, okay.
Cetaphil. Anytime you two things.
Really?
Yeah. Yep. Cream pie. You use Cetaphil for all the cream pies, and you also use it for all the. Anytime you see a photograph of a chick with a facial, that's Cetaphil.
Like
it's
the
not
bukkake,
actually. Yeah.
Whatever you call it.
Yeah. Okay. Well, bukkake's probably the real thing.
Yeah.
But any other like stills, if it's just like if it just looks really nice, definitely Cetaphil.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I never thought.
I just ruined it. Sorry.
We're just ruining all of her shit tonight. She's like, fuck, man. She's about to leave here like, I shouldn't have came.
All right, cool. Lastly, you have any questions for the ladies?
Or anything you want to promote, anything?
I mean, if you guys want to find me, just go to, you can find me on YouTube. Just type in Stirling Cooper on YouTube. You'll find my whole channel. I got a ton of free advice on, God knows, every topic I could possibly think of around sex. So go check that out, and then, you'll find the links to my my various courses and my website and stuff. Yeah, you can find me there.
Pretty much shit, man. We'll make sure we get all this info. It'll be at the bottom of the links and all that stuff. We'll type everything in. Books, Instagram, everything.
Stories, everything.
Cool. Thank you, ladies, again for coming down, and for sure, Stirling, man.
Thanks,
you.
guys.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us.
It was great.
All right.
Very good podcast.
Appreciate it. All right, you guys, make sure to like and subscribe. We out.
BBC, we out.